Good evening, and welcome to this week's London by Gaslight, a late Victorian age vampire the Masquerade chronicle set in 1892. Awakening for the night in the City of London this week is Eveline, the daughter of Cacophony, played by Miss Hartz. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. Gain another hunger. Aldrich of the clan of Shapers, portrayed by Bully from Tablegoth. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. Excellent. Thurston of the Nosferatu, portrayed by Nitro Typet. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. Gain a hunger. And joining us at a dramatically appropriate time is Ken Daddy. We begin this week in the nice theatre that Aldrich specifically wanted to keep a hold of, to make sure that Eveline was pleased. Aldrich has travelled through the city on his own to meet with young man in the theatre, and he runs on behalf of Eveline and Aldrich. His carriage stops outside the grand refurbished West End theatre, dismounts from the car, and enters straight inside of the luxurious entryway. He takes a moment to admire the grand chandelier he had specially crafted after the one he coveted so much, and enters into the main performance area, finding young man upon the stage area with an unknown man laid out on a prop table, his two dogs sitting loyally at the head. As Aldrich approaches the stage area, he can make out that there are some kinds of medical instruments attached to the man's throat and hooked around the table. Aldrich rises onto the stage, and as he does so, another table comes into his view. One seems to have a body upon it, but is hidden by a large sheet covering it. The other, with the man, still conscious but the metal implements attached to the table, hook up to the throat and pull it apart, exposing the man's larynx and throat inside. The young man places a scalpel down onto the table and looks directly at the man, saying to him, "Don't move." He turns his head and greets Aldrich. "Mr. Aldrich! An unexpected pleasure. Business is extremely good, I am happy to say. What may I do to help you tonight?"
Right. Business, I'm glad to hear, is good, but it will need to be better, right? We've got some funds to make up for. I'd like to do so in an expedient manner, if possible. This doesn't look like a profitable business to me, though. What are you using the theater for right now?
I am attempting an experiment. I believe, it's something of a hypothesis anyway, that I might be able to manipulate this man's vocal cords to see if I can strain a better performance out of his voice.
Alright, I can see the profit in that. How is it going so far?
He is a disappointment. Perhaps my hypothesis does not encompass all people, only those who have a latent talent. This man didn't even scream in tune.
And this one is dead, I presume?
Nope.
Oh, almost all.
You'll just hear this gurgling.
Right. And what's your plan with the other one over there?
Ah! Actually, this is most fortuitous timing. Perhaps you'd be able to help me with it. It is another experiment.
Go on.
Young man will walk over to the other table, pull the sheet down, revealing the mutilated, torpored body underneath. What's left of the body bears heavy open wounds. The body's legs have been cut away from the torso. The arms, although not entirely severed, are only attached by tendons. The bone having been roughly removed, broken bone segments jut out from both ends of the arm. only connected to the rest of the body by nerve endings. As Aldrich casts his eye higher to the body's head, he can see the eyes have been torn out, leaving gaping dark shadows in the empty sockets. The body's ears have been torn off, and large metal stakes hammered in place. Although the body is maimed heavily, Aldrich is able to recognize the body as that of Clara. I caught this rat snooping around the theatre last night. I captured it, subdued it, and began to see whether it could be of any use to me. You can talk freely. It won't see or hear anything. But I was wondering, now that you're here, if there's anything we could do to improve it.
Young man, was it? I understand that originally you were on loan to Miss Eveline, right? From the Malkavian Primogen? Is that right?
Oh,
or I misremember?
I had a private patron.
Right. Where do you fall in the grand scheme of things here in merry old London? Politically, I should say.
Politics are so dull, so constraining. I care only for song and music and entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Those who do not participate in politics either are short-lived, are so worthless that they're able to be overlooked, or so powerful that they're able to ignore the rest of the kindred society is doing. Where would you say you fit on that scale?
I provide a service. This service allows me the ability to hide, to stay out of sight. I am but a harmless minstrel after all.
Right, so you have managed to avoid detection thus far.
Indeed.
If there were anyone who were to find you, it would be, Clara's clan. And by intercepting one of that clan, you may have invited quite a bit of scrutiny upon yourself. And since you have done it in this location, you have invited that scrutiny upon me.
This thing is a Clara?
I assume you understand what an Nosferatu is and what that implies.
I understand that these rats exist. This one couldn't even sing. I was hoping perhaps to at least enhance the way it looked.
Why?
Why not? This is the age of discovery.
You simply do this because you enjoy it, or is there a purpose to your macabre experiments?
I believe that if I were able to improve the way that this thing looked, I could improve the way that others looked. I could then have them posted outside, attracting a larger audience. It's all about the way that things look, the way that things speak and sing.
I see. I understand your motivation, if that is true, right? I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty for the greater good, as I call it. That's good being profit, power, for those deserving. I'm not positive you're deserving, but I am positive you might have created quite a problem for us. You, mostly.
I see. A problem. Could we not stitch it back together and throw it out into the gutter?
We could. Is she aware that you were the one who did this?
No. As you can see, I was quite thorough in taking enjoyment in depriving her of her senses.
I can see that. Alright. whatever your goal is with this, allow me to help. You wish to attempt to make a Nosferatu more appealing visually.
Yes.
I can't say I'm not also curious if such a thing is possible.
Come, what shall
Could
we
be
do
seen
with
as doing a favor for Thurston as well. Proving his girlfriend might improve his spirits and just his all around mojo. Sure, let's see what we can do here. I'm a bit of a doctor myself, not officially by any means, but mostly into medicine. But my skills can be applied here, sure.
Marvelous. I've kept all of its parts. In case you wish to use them, I could easily find donations as well.
That will not be necessary. Whatever parts you have on hand, if you can provide them, I'll see what I can do.
On hand? I have both of its hands right here.
Perfect. Aldrich will then roll up his sleeve, go around at some of the equipment he has, and there's a couple things he wants to accomplish here. He, first of all, would like to make it to where he wants to return her senses, but in a subtle way. Maybe not necessarily like unstaking the ears in a obvious fashion, but maybe do a bit of surgery to. And he wants to do this not necessarily in a stealthy way, but a way that would be hard for a young man to understand if possible. Maybe just creating a hole somewhere else that he could connect, and somehow she's able to hear through that. Essentially, he wants to return her hearing.
Yeah.
And then proceed. And also, well, she's in torpor now. I've been in torpor before, so I know you can still hear in torpor. So yes, I'll keep her in torpor. I want to restore her hearing first and foremost, but I want to do so while making an attempt to make her look normal as well. The goal, just so you have what I'm going for here, is I want her to be aware of what's happening. And I want to continue to have a conversation with young man, mostly letting her know what happened to her and who did this to her. Since he seems pretty open about talking about it, I just want to sort of fix her hearing, do what he wants me to do, which is see what I can do with her face. And while making sure he seems very talkative, I just want to keep that going so she can do what a Nosferatu does and take in the information.
Would you like to roll flesh crafting for this? Or would you like to use mundane tools for this?
No, this will be... I mean, I'll be using the tools, but I'll be using some of my flesh crafting on top.
Lovely. Please roll flesh crafting for me.
This other person here, they're still alive, right?
Yes.
Can I feed from them? Because I'm pretty hungry, and I don't want to frenzy in the middle of all this.
Do your feeding roll for me, then roll.
I'm happy to drain
first,
them
please.
if possible, too.
Would you like automatic success and 2 humanity stains?
And stains? Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, this is... The person's suffering anyway, clearly. And this is a very important moment. Zaldric tries to attempt this, so...
Okay.
I'll first ask if it's okay if I mean, the other one's failed experiment anyway, so I'll ask if I could go feed on him. If he's cool with it, I'll drain him. And then I'll do the thing, rousing the blood.
Lovely. And you staked all 5 hunger?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Excellent. You will take certain tools off from the side that have been lazily left alone, covered in dried blood, probably not even Clara's own blood on it. You drill a hole just underneath her ear, through to her skull, and break through into the ear channel, allowing her to be able to pick up what is being said. At the same time, You start to mould pieces of flesh, moving them back into place, exposing cheekbones, moving them higher, and generally applying your own special skills to her face, making her seem more appealing. Wonderful. Wonderful. This is going extremely well. You have a natural talent for this.
Well, it was easier than I thought, actually. We quite the challenge here. But does this meet your satisfaction, we should say?
I believe so. This is wonderful news. I shall have to try and learn some of your techniques and copy them and apply them to my next patient.
I would be happy to assist.
Wonderful. We shall be able to bring in far more business with appealing usherettes, advertisers, than we do with something like this rat.
Oh, I could not agree more. But do, in the future, if you would send for me right away whenever you have work to be done. I quite enjoy this sort of thing.
Marvellous. Perhaps we could form some sort of team.
Of course. And since you seem out of politics and you seem to be especially keen on, as you said, fixing the Nosferatu in this way, and specifically maybe targeting some of them to show what we're capable of, you might need me to smooth things over. So, any of the Nosferatu you decide to take in this manner, please let me know.
Naturally. It's not so much specifically targeting them, but if I catch a rat, it's fair game if it's on territory such as this.
Understood.
Mr. Aldrich, you mentioned last we spoke there was some kind of entity in your haven. Please, tell me more about it.
I have much to do. Perhaps in our next meeting, I will be happy to share all with you.
Oh,
Speaking of the Haven, actually, this one, I would like to show her improvements to Thurston myself, if that is okay.
of course,
You seem
but
to be fond of this place.
perhaps I wasn't clear.
Perhaps I wasn't clear, and I'm gonna need you to stop talking now. I think we're both trying to discipline each other.
Entrancement. Pretty effective. Entrancement.
Is his going off first?
What are you doing at the same time?
I was telling him to stop speaking. I was trying to dominate him to do so.
Alright, do your... Where is it? Which one was it?
I guess both could kind of happen. Because it was pretty clear, and I know he's done this before, what he was about to do, so that's why I went to dominate him.
Which one are you going with? Mesmerize?
Yes.
Okay, do Mesmerize. Intelligence.
Getting hungrier, mesmerizing.
I'm going to give that to you. Obviously, you won the roll, so that obviously does go to you. I think we're going to... Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I think you would have
Also,
just about managed to get that in before he manages to finish his sentence.
Perfect. I probably... I mean, I guess it could kind of work both ways. I could still be entranced, but then he also isn't going to be speaking. So I'm still, I guess, works out in the sense that I'm not going to do anything to him. But also, as long as he's not telling me to do more, I don't have a reason to spill everything. So with that, if possible, I'd like to then collect Clara and take her with me.
And the young man will just simply bow his head to you as you pick up the body and pieces of Clara.
Very much thank you for your time. I love what you're doing with the place and glad we are in business together. Partners, as you said.
He gives you this warm smile, just bows. You strap Clara, that only has one arm attached, to your back, and it seems to remind you of a gold android with a silver leg as you walk off out into the night. Eveline, across the city, there, has answered her own invitation, her first to the Sisters of Set. She rubs shoulders with women of all strata of London society. Though there are only a few women in attendance, eventually, Patricia, the owner of the brothel, strides in. She stands in front of the gathered women and gives a rousing speech, how they are working against the fumbling men of the city and society in general. Patricia's speech comes to an end, and she allows a small applause to erupt through the gathering of women before she calls for silence. Sisters, I have but one more point of order. Aggressors are attacking us. Already, one of my friends, despite being male, he still understands his place, has been killed. Have no doubt, sisters, they will be after us next. As such, I have selected 2 of you to begin our defences. The gathered women all seem shocked and perturbed by the noise, and eventually disperse out. Patricia turns to her grand chair and picks up a wooden box and opens it. Marianne, Eveline, come forward. Stepping forward. Patricia smiles as both women step forward. She opens a box. You reaching in? It's small.
I'll let the other one go first.
Okay. Patricia smiles at her as you just see a clenched fist pull out of the box, obviously holding something. Patricia turns to you, holding the box.
I, by the way, will be wearing gloves on both hands, although I do often. I am definitely now to hide that one of them is made out of porcelain. And with the real hand, gloved real hand, I will reach into the box.
You reach in, and you pick up, as you briefly see it, a small golden effigy of a cat. Patricia smiles at both of you, and addresses the rest of the gathered women. Sisters, please, go in peace. Leave me with Mary Ann and Eveline. She bows her head as the rest of the society leave the gathering. Patricia steps forward to the pair, with a warm smile exposing her perfect white teeth, an extremely rare sight in London. I am so honoured to have you both as part of our society. It is why I have chosen you both for this important task. I need you to keep these on you at all times. And as she says that, so this is Mesmerize, so browse check. And if you could roll intelligence and resolve for me, please, Miss Eveline. Even if you did a reroll, you wouldn't be able to beat her. When this cat warms up, and you will feel it, you are report back to me in some way, and tell me who you are with, and when it does so.
I'll
Now
nod.
please. Now please, keep safe the both of you. Good night, and walk in the shadow of Set.
I will curtsy and place the cat in my pocket.
It's not often we get to see Eveline putting her entire fist in a box and then coming out fingering a pussy, but there we are.
This also means I have a pocket pussy now.
Courage ship. Good idea. Underneath the city, Thurston is exploring through some of the lesser trodden sewers of London, long abandoned and no longer in use. Water doesn't even flow through them. The Nosferatu say among themselves that some of the sewers lead to disused and forgotten large hubs, formerly used by maintenance staff that would have to live beneath the city for long periods of time to ensure the torrent of soiled water flowed. Thurston, curious to see if he can find one, and perhaps adopt it for his own uses and ventures, makes his way through the tunnels. Eventually, he hears the sound of distant echoes, knowing they must be echoing through and from something. He follows the sounds and eventually enters into a large brick room. The channel that runs through the centre of the chamber is dry and stained with waste. Small, waist-high broken walls are left in the chamber, and a metal staircase leads up to a separate room. As Thurston's eyes look towards the ceiling, he catches sight of several nets dangling from it. Drops of blood slowly drip from the net sacks of the remains onto the old dirt floor, into puddles forming beneath them. Thurston takes cover behind one, as 3 people open the door from the room above and descend down into the chamber below. As they walk, Thurston can overhear enough of their conversation to realize they have been capturing and mutilating people they bring here, just to hear the sounds of their screaming, describing it as music. What would you like to do?
So they came from the only staircase that's going up in this room?
Yeah, the staircase,
And then
it's only a small one that leads up to an elevated, isolated single brick room.
and they went down another set?
Yes, they're now on the same level as you, but you are hidden.
Um the nets that are in the room, can I look around and see if I mean, I know you said that they were dripping with blood. Is there anybody maybe still alive that I can just see?
These are all pieces of flesh, mass of bodies, severed limbs, and the like.
I mean, I want to just sit and listen to if they say anything more, but
The general gist of the conversation is how their screams of pain were just like music. I'll tell you what, do wits and awareness for me, please, or intelligence and investigation.
I need to click the skills first. It's been a while.
Would you like success at cost?
Sure.
It's not going to be a huge cost, but
Alright.
as they're talking, you are reminded very much of the same mantra that young man spouts. And as this realization comes upon you, you jump out from the cover, exposing yourself, pointing at them, and realizing that they are thralls of young man.
So they were aware of me.
Oh yeah,
Besides
you're just
Okay.
standing there, folds of flesh out.
So it's a normal Thursday night. Got it. Excuse me, I'm sorry. What was it that you were just saying?
Who the bloody hell are you?
I should be asking you the same thing. Snooping around in the dark underreaches of the city like this.
Who's snooping? You're the one snooping.
It's my job to snoop.
Who the fuck pays you to snoop?
Well, that's not the point. Who? Sorry, I'm looking. I'm acquainting myself with what I bought 3 weeks ago with my XP. Nope. The only one that's useful is to put him to sleep, and I don't think I want to do that yet. You were saying that you are kidnapping people, yes?
Who said that? Jerry, did you say that? Say that? Yeah. Steve, did you say that? I certainly didn't say that. You can't prove nothing.
Yeah, you really do need to keep more track what you say and where you say it.
What is you? Is you one of the peelers or something?
I'm
From the
much worse.
freak show division.
Trust me, I'm much worse. I'm going to... Oh, I'm going to have to do 2 browse checks if I want to do this on both of them. Yeah. No, I'm going to use Quell the Beast on one of them. And I will throw that up for you. Because if I'm assuming they're mortal, and if they're mortal and I succeed, they they get sleepy.
Yep.
And then fuck it, if I succeed on one, I'll try and eat the other one.
I mean, there's 3 of them.
Oh, there's 3 of them. Even better. Cool.
Okay. So you want to put 1 to sleep or 2 of them to sleep?
I'll do 2 of them.
Okay. 2 rouse checks. 2 rolls of Quell the Beast, please.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, it's Charisma Discipline, I believe.
That's fine. Both fine. And the 2 men identified as Jerry and Steve sort of look at each other, wander off to one of the walls, and then just settle in and sleep.
Now
The
that that's
fuck?
out of the way.
The fuck's going on here?
Well, that's what I'd like to know. You're torturing and murdering random people to hear them sing, was it?
And torture. And torture is like, this is art. This is for the arts.
Really? That's art? I've seen art. This is not
We
art.
is employed by someone who runs a very a very nice theatre. And we is like talent skits.
Really? Well, if this is such a famous theater, I should have heard of it, right?
I expect so. It's bloody world famous. At least world famous in London. London is the most important city in the world.
Yeah, I know, I live here. What I mean is, if I've heard of the theater, what is it?
What do you mean, what is it? It's a fucking theatre.
There's multiple in London.
Yeah.
Which one?
And they all do the what? This one is called Evelyn's Emporium of Exotic Evangelical Entertainers.
I was expecting a address, but that works too. Interesting.
That would have been even harder to do, to be honest.
Well, this surely is enlightening. And unfortunate. I guess I have something to speak with the others about later. Anyway, I don't see.
Are you going to
as
monologue at me all night, or are you going to let me get on with shit? Apparently, now I got to do 2 other people's fucking jobs.
Oh, don't worry. I'll alleviate that for you as well. And I'd like to, I guess grapple him to try and feed on him. I have to grapple him first, right?
Yeah, strength brawl.
And when I remembered, I don't have any dots in brawl.
Would you like success at cost?
Sure.
And you're going in for feeding, I take it, right?
Yep.
Thurston is overwhelmed by the beast. He goes down on all 4s like an animal and pounces onto the unsuspecting human, immediately sinking his elongated, broken fangs into the man's skin and flesh, tearing off pieces of blood in his way, and finally sinking his fangs deep into an artery, drinking deeply, his vision clouded over by red rage, and completely drains the man of all of his vitae and his life. Thurston composes himself after he has satisfied his inner monster. You take 5 hunger. You may slake 5 hunger, but you take 2 humanity stains.
Okay. I'm gonna pull a note out of Alistair's book, and while the other 2 are facing towards the wall, I'm going to rip the body up and throw it up in the netting that is around the room.
Okay, yeah. I'll let you do that for free,
I mean,
that's no problem.
A little bit smarter than what Alistair did, but yeah.
Yeah, but he still managed to kill a man with chopsticks.
Okay.
Later in the week. Sorry. No.
Can I peek? Can I go up the stairs that led upwards?
Yeah.
And just peek out and see where it leads to before
It's
I head
just
off
an
to...
isolated room that's being used by them for living in.
Okay. So probably a building of some sort outside that I'd have to...
Oh, you're in the sewers. This is like a hub in the sewers. This is just a very small, isolated room, probably about as big as your bedroom, and that's what the team of 3 or 4 maintenance people would live in.
Yeah, I'm saying I want to go up the stairs and see where it might come out on the surface.
That's it. That's where the stairs lead, is just to that.
Gotcha.
Later in the week, in the Whitechapel house, the coterie have all assembled in the meeting room. Eveline has, as always, ensured she is the last to enter. Each of the kindred have taken their seat and prepare to discuss their findings and plan ahead for the night. Upon the table is a neatly folded note. It does not have any kind of wax seal upon it.
I would take the note and read it.
The note is an elegant map, drawing out a small part of the edge of the west of the city and a circle around a small shack just off the road that leads into the city.
City is opening its hidden paths and portals to me. This location will interest you.
A pretty well-made map.
We're glad to know that he's still around.
Yes.
So what would have happened with taking Clara out?
What would you like to have happened? I mean, she would have been in Torbor, and unless you've given her some blood, she will remain in Torpor for X amount of time until she recovers.
I would have taken her to Thurston first, unless this is the first time we're seeing Thurston. Maybe we could say that. Maybe I've kept her in Torpor, slowly helped her
Boom. That
And the
great.
very next,
replace some of her parts, and then...
and she will have reverted as well to regular Clara after that first night. I think it might even have been quicker than that.
Okay. Yeah, I would have just been keeping her fed so she can start healing. But yeah, so if I knew I was actually going to see Thurston tonight, I would have brought her down as well.
Okay. And then Clara will be conscious, unlive, and probably sat next to Aldrich.
Okay, so should still be right. This all and well, and I would like to investigate that. But Thurston, I've been waiting for you. We have a predicament actually that involves all of us. You too, Evelyn.
Oh, what do we owe the pleasure?
Young man caught Clara sneaking around your theater, which I suppose might... I just assume they sneak around everywhere. I've got nothing to hide there yet. Either way, he caught her and did some pretty terrible things to her. I was able to restore her a bit and make it to where she can listen in on the conversation I had with him, so she was aware of what happened and who did it. From here, Thurston, things get a bit sensitive because I'm not sure how best to proceed. I would like to return her to your clan, right?
Of course.
But we need to know what they're gonna do. I assume, Eveline, that they will seek to destroy young man for what he has done.
I'm trying to figure out how... I'm trying to remember what Evelyn remembers. He's messed with her mind a lot.
He hasn't erased your memory, though, right? I thought he's just entranced you.
Yeah.
So, after I come out of the entrancement, would I have known it was an entrancement?
I don't think you would know that you were under the influence of a vampiric discipline.
Okay.
I think it depends on your feelings about him overall. Because if you already like him, and then you just know sometimes you really like him, it's one thing.
I'm thinking that's
But
the way.
I feel like with Aldrich, who is very apprehensive of him, and then one time suddenly he was his best friend, and then later on he wasn't, I think maybe Bill put two and two together.
Yeah, because Evelyn liked him just because he liked her and gave her lots of compliments. So
Yeah, so it would probably be... well, it's Shiv's call, obviously, but feels like it would be less obvious to you.
So the only thing that would really be obvious to me was when he made me do stuff that one time.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want it to be. You could also have explained it away as you were just enraptured by him and his natural...
At that point, she was 7 humanity, so I don't think that's an explain it away thing.
But now
You're
that
7 humanity then? Dang.
Yeah, I was 7 humanity
True.
then. I think that's what made
True,
me
you're
lost
not anymore.
humanity.
But now that you're
Yeah,
not
not
Humanity 7, would you give a fuck?
I would have remembered how I felt. But I would say I probably still would be entranced but weary by young man. So I wouldn't want him to die.
Well,
I like Clara.
yeah,
So, Eveline's just going to sit there in worried contemplation.
I'm grateful you found her when you did, Aldrich, because I also, within the last few nights or so, or maybe even tonight, I discovered 2 of, I believe it was young man's thralls in a small compartment off of the sewer system, with let's just say long past victims.
Well, it has come to my attention then that young man is acting in a way quite above his station, right? I tried checking in. Unless Evelyn, you were the one who was put in contact with him. Is he of any notable position of power or authority where he can help us in any way? Or are we simply harboring a monster?
He holds no position that I know of. I need to go talk to him.
I'm not sure that's a good idea. If he has nothing to offer us besides potential trouble, he will need to be removed. And not by us, because I don't exactly trust interacting with him. But I mean, one of the most clever and well-connected clans in the city now has reason and proof on the means to get rid of an enemy of theirs, which is an enemy of ours. And anytime I can let other people handle that. That's not true. Sometimes I like letting my hands dirty, but not in this case. Young man's he's creepy, Evelyn, quite unsettling. And I would love for the Nosferatu to take care of him for us.
I mean, he has seemed to have changed, but I think it's just a recent development. Something must be going on. I should go speak to him.
I don't think that's a good idea. I think look, if it's an honest misunderstanding, I'm sure he will work that out with the Nosferatu and everything will be fine, and business will continue as usual. If there's something else going on, and there's something to know, who better to dig in than that clan?
He's quite young. He doesn't know
I
what
think that's just his name. I mean, you understand that we aren't. Appearances are not necessarily honest among our kind.
When I first met him, he was not sure what to do with his gifts. He was very unaware of the world around him. He almost definitely had recently been changed, recently been embraced. So
He needs to be brought in
coming into
by
his
people
own.
who know what they're doing then. We are not the ones to teach a new kindred the ropes, especially unofficially in a way that his errors will come back on us. It's simply too big of a risk.
Yes, and he's already done multiple things that basic kindred should know not to do in an area like this under such powerful rule. Like I said, I've already discovered 2 of his thralls, maiming, torturing, and killing who knows what. Other kindred, like Aldrich said, he found Clara, or other kind, who knows.
I mean, at the end of the day, he's a right sick bastard, Evelyn. Right? It's a liability. He's not proper, he's not dignified like the rest of us. He does not belong.
He's has some mental issues. I'll admit. He always has, and he had a caretaker before. I just need him to go back to his caretaker.
All right.
When did you last speak to his previous caretaker by chance?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. It's been a while. I haven't seen his caretaker since he ran away, basically. It's been quite some time. I haven't had a reason to visit with him, but perhaps I shall.
What do you know of his caretaker? Quite curious.
He's Malkavian. He seems to be a man in well standing. Very nice house, very polite.
Perhaps we can all go talk to him, find out what was going on before.
Indeed.
Do you have a name? What was his caretaker's name?
I'm a storyteller. What was his caretaker's?
I don't think you ever got to learn his name.
Well, I did at one point.
Do you have an address at least? You know where you went to his house?
Oh, yes. And I give him the address.
Okay. Thurston, take that information as you will. I think it's best that, unless you have a different opinion of what we should do, Thurston, I think we should get Clara back to your clan.
Oh, yes. I do think it's the right thing to go and figure out what else the previous caretaker knows about this young man, but I feel like if you've kept Clara safe enough for this amount of time, that I feel that she is safe here for a tiny bit longer, but I do plan to bring this to the Nosferatu.
Oh, I think we should do it on the way to investigating this little tidbit that Endymion shared with us.
True. It would give them time to enact whatever they seem as right, and for us to catch up afterwards.
The coteries meeting is interrupted by 3 slow, deliberate knocks upon the door. The door opens of its own will, and standing there is a grey figure of a man, next to a cloaked, his face hidden, also figure of a man. The man's flesh is sullen and grey from lack of any colour. He reminds the coterie of their encounter with the wayward Sabat they fought, but this figure looks far worse than anything they have seen before. He drawls out, "Greetings, children of Cain. I am a harbinger of Endymion, and I have brought you a gift. But only those who are willing to give entirely of themselves to our patron will be able to read it." And the skeletal man walks forward and places a single, old, rolled-up sheet of thick paper upon the table. He bows to the coterie and leaves the room, leaving you with the hooded, cloaked figure.
Figuring that I have already given myself to Endymion. That doesn't sound good. I will pick up the scroll and read it.
It is blank.
I'll
Well,
pass it to Aldrich.
Evelyn, what does it say? Is it that even you won't read it? That's surprising.
I will look at it then.
Aldrich looks upon it, and he is able to see the title. Oh God, I hope I'm going to be able to pronounce this right. Daemoninian Disciplines. The first thing that you will be able to read is Fear of the Void Below.
Okay. Isn't making any sense to me what this is.
You'll recognize instructions on how to use your vitae in new and exotic ways in service of Endymion.
Well. Oh, I get an opportunity. I must do some practice. See what sort of gift I've received here. I suppose all of us could practice together. Thurston, I'll pass it to him.
Sure. What, can I read it?
Nope.
I'll drink a... I don't understand. Was this a joke of some kind?
You know I do not joke. You... What is it?
No, it's blank. There's nothing on here.
I just want to double check and make sure it should be blank to me because I'm bonded to Endymion.
Yeah, you're all bonded to Endymion.
Yeah.
But none of you have pledged your souls and your very existence to Endymion. Aldrich's kind of been press rolled. Forced into it.
Okay.
Don't forget, you've also got this other figure who's just standing there going,
Forgive me my manners. Welcome to our humble abode. I am Thurston of House Nosferatu. I presume it's very rare we have visitors.
House?
So, Lantry will just step forward and give a bow. Yes, he said you'd be here. Good evening. I'm Lantry, and it's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Evelyn and Mr. Aldrich and Mr. Thurston. I am here at your service.
And you were sent by Endymion.
No. No.
Then who were you sent by?
And, Launcher is going to go through a bit of a range of emotions here. Quite obvious he doesn't really want to say the name.
Actually, before you, I'm gonna have my people take Clara somewhere else. She can still hear. She doesn't need to hear all of this.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, actually,
Take her to Thurston's room.
if we've talked about Endymion in front of her, I'd also like to change that memory.
Yeah, put her in my room. I've asked for soundproofing ever since Evelyn started doing her morning scales.
Evening scales.
show me
Same thing. Morning, evening. You're doing both.
it's a cloud memory. Oh, forget we went. Okay. Do your rouse check. She's doing it. And roll away for me, please.
I'm gonna rouse again because I need this to go right. Beautiful.
Clara's
Yeah, I'll just
face.
sort of
Sorry.
open her eyes, even though she's unconscious, and then just have her forget any mention of Endymion and this newest person, and then have my people take her to Thurston's room.
And you'll notice that her eyes, although dead already inside, just seem to have that extra layer of gloss that you recognize as knowing that your powers have worked, and a little corner, in the corner of her mouth, a little drool of blood just drips down.
So literally don't dead, open inside.
And you're heavy-handed. Take the body and very carelessly drag it by the ankles over the floor, letting her head bounce on the exposed floorboards. And you hear that
Aldrich,
she is.
that is no way to treat a lady.
I'm not.
And you'll hear that she's just thrown in.
Entree, was it? Oh, I apologize for the interruption. You were about to tell us who sent you.
Yes. I've been sent here this evening by, you would know him as, well, probably the biggest jerk that you've met.
Narrow it
Say
down
it.
a little bit more.
Another kindred, Jameer, Hood, voice kind of like yours, but different.
Yes, Mr. Aldrich.
I feared as much. Pray tell why our dear friend Aldo has sent you.
Yes, sir. I'm hoping you don't just kill me outright.
I'm considering it. I think I told Aldo it gave him quite a clear farewell last time I saw him. So, I assume this must be good.
Oh, do not let Aldrich fool you. If he wanted you dead, you'd be there already.
Well, that is some consolation. Thank you. I'm here because, I'm not exactly sure why I'm here. I'm here because I was told to come here, but I'm supposed to make amends.
Well, I'm glad that
Go
he
on, then.
speaks so cryptically to his followers
Now,
as
I
he does
am
to us.
curious.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I'm fairly curious myself. When you've been around, although as long as I have, you come to learn you have no idea what he's doing. So I'm here, but I don't exactly know why I'm here. And so, yeah, that's kind of where we are.
You sound like the worst spy I've ever met.
Oh, Mr. Aldrich, Aldo has no need for spies. He already knows everything that's going to happen anyway.
So you're a peace offering?
Well, that's what I was told. I suspect there's something more, but I have no idea.
Well, if you're going to be here for long, here, take this for good luck, and I'm going to hand him the horseshoe.
I'm just going to take it with a smile, and I'm going to say, he's been talking about your coterie for almost 20 years. I am glad to finally meet you.
That doesn't make me feel any better.
I can't believe he actually gave you the horseshoe, though. That's fantastic.
I haven't even used it yet. I don't know what it's for. I was told something about fairies, but I mean, it died just as easily to a fire poker as it did to a horseshoe. I barely did anything.
Yes, well, Master Oldo sees, not just one, but multiple futures, and tends to take all of them into account, and sometimes they meld together, and it doesn't make any sense when he's doing things.
That sounds terribly inefficient.
Well, if you have the patience to work for Aldo, you have the mental capacity to work for anyone, I suppose. So, I say we bring him along, and if the mood strikes, we will destroy him and send him back to Aldo as a message not to fuck with us. But I am curious, at the very least, and I'm sure Aldo already knows this about me. I do like seeing things through. Taking the fun way, right? So let's have some fun. L'entrée, was it?
Yes, Mr. Aldrich, and I am hoping that my master did not send me here to die tonight, but we'll see what happens.
Aren't we all? Alright. Well, in that case, we've got quite the agenda tonight. You can join us as we drop off. A member of the Nosferatu house, as Thurston put it, back to the rightful people. And then, I'm sure you've already been informed of Endymion.
Yes.
Aldo was aware, so I'm glad he shared that with you. We're gonna go see what he wants us to look into. It's always a good time. Are you up for it?
Lantre is going to give a very big smile. Now, Lantre has a terrible smile. It's just absolutely horrifying. And he does his best to make it better, but it really doesn't work. So he's going to give a big smile, and he's going to say, yes, let's do it.
All right.
His smile is similar to as if Thurston's arsehole had teeth and was stretched out into a grin.
Hmm.
And he's not even Nosferatu. That's impressive.
I know what that might mean, but Aldrich doesn't. All right. Thurston, do you want to grab Clara? And I'm sure you'll know the quickest way to get in which sewer to stop by on the way.
Oh, of course. Yes. I'll go up to my room. She's going to hate me for doing this, but... And I'm saying this as I go up the stairs. So that way, because I know she can hear me still. But
She can hear.
unfortunately, this is... Oh, she can hear? Well, this is probably for her own good anyway. Oh, well. And I'm going to... Because she's still in torpor, right?
No.
Oh, she's not.
No.
I thought she was on torpor.
If you've been feeding her blood, she would have come out of torpor.
Oh, I thought she was staked.
No, she had stakes in her ears.
Oh, okay.
So you mean she was completely conscious and fine when Aldrich's men picked her up and dragged her up the stairs?
Oh, yeah, this whole time I thought she was in torpor. That would
No way to treat a lady.
very differently. Okay. Would she...
Yeah, then
Would you? I thought it made sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to get on Nosferatu's good side. I need them to do stuff. Either way.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to my room. Clara, terribly sorry about Aldrich's men. They aren't smart. We are getting ready to depart now if you wish to join us, and I will extend a hand out to her.
Yeah, she'll barely be able to move, but you'll see her fist trying to reach out to you.
Seeing that she's having trouble, I'll go over and I'll pick her up in a bridal carry and carry her down.
Everyone heading out to the carriage? Anything you wish to discuss en route?
Trey, what does Aldo say about my singing?
Miss Evelyn, Aldo has nothing but the highest praises for you. He was quite sorry what had happened the last time you were all together. And I'm going to look down at her hand.
As I'm sitting in the carriage, I would have had my good hand over the porcelain hand. I'm hiding it as much as possible, keeping it covered with a glove, that sort of thing.
Eveline, do a willpower check for me, please. Despite your best attempts to hide the porcelain hand, it escapes out of your grasp and seemingly of its own mind, lifts straight up and points at Lantre.
Oh, sorry. Please excuse that. And I put it back on. Pull the glove up further. It has a mind of its own.
Lancha is just kind of like a startled smile. Again, his terrible smile. And, no, it's quite all right. I hadn't heard about your, replacement hand.
I'm not going to go around without a hand.
Should I even ask what went on while I was gone?
I'm just gonna look at Aldrich and see if he's kind of interested in telling Thurston.
Thurston, did we not catch you up?
No, I assume because of the predicament Clara was in, that she couldn't find me and direct me to the right direction in the sewers, so I was lost for quite some time. She does help me a lot with directions.
What did we do? We investigate the source of the fog.
Okay.
We found the source of the fog. It was a crematorium, I believe, in a prison. And there was something that was more or less. Oh, what was it? The coffin that Eveline found and unceremoniously tossed the body on the floor so she could sleep in it. I don't remember.
It was dawn. We had to sleep somewhere.
I see.
Her name was Boudica, not Dawn.
Thank you.
Boudica, that was it. Right, yeah, so this legendary historical figure was tossed aside so everyone would have a slightly better place to sleep, which
No,
we heard her. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just explaining what
Yeah, it
happened.
sounds very evident to me, so.
It very much was.
needed a place.
And then we were confronted with something that we were told represented the soul of the city of London, right? And Aldo was there, and he asked we needed to find a way to remove it. And physically moving it seemed impossible, as the spirit was dying and weak, and I think creating some of this fog. And so we did the obvious thing that anyone would do, and I sacrificed the soul of the city to Endymion, which did in fact move it.
Right.
Others were not happy about this. They somehow discovered this, and we were then summoned by Mithras himself, which we had an audience with. And
I take it went well,
I'll
since
go
I am...
too.
Yes.
all things considered,
I mean, you're
we
still
did have to
undead.
admit, I had to admit my true clan to him. Didn't seem too bothered though. I think he's not bothered by much.
I wouldn't
As long as you're not
say that.
pissing him off directly. Which was a bit of a relief, right? The Camarilla, I think, would have a problem with what I am, but as long as you obey him, that seems fine. Anyway, I had to admit that. But we were still punished because he wanted the soul of London, and now it's no longer
Sure.
in his grasp. So he
You
cut off
sacrificed-
everyone's
yes.
hands and took my money, which is worse. We did discover Miss Bowsley, Lady Bowsley, I should say, is also a Diablerist. I believe we asked her about it, and she told us to instead look back at Valerius. So we're just at a moment where everyone's saying blame the other person, but they're all too powerful for us to actually do anything about it. So there's a list. Our list is becoming complicated.
So, you sacrificed the soul of London to a demon, and you revealed your true clan to the prince, and you're still alive, undead. You're still unliving. That's impressive.
I thought so.
Hands.
And you have both hands.
I have my money though, and that's worse. Much worse.
Can always earn
Hands
money then.
are little to me. I can make as many hands as I want.
That's-
Money, I earned that money. Now I have to earn it again. I don't like having to re-earn something that's already mine. But anyway, the moral of the story, Thurston, is that Aldo, all-seeing Aldo, let this happen. So, it's all his fault.
Not only did he let it happen, he knew it was going to happen.
Yeah,
If
it
the
was definitely.
rumors are believed to be true, yes. But now we have Lantre here to make up for all of that. Isn't that right?
Well, if I could just clear up something, I believe Aldo told you more than once he couldn't see through the fog.
I think he's lying.
That's fair. He might be.
It sounds like a load of poppycock to me.
Even if he couldn't
Right.
see through, he could have stopped me from doing what I did.
He
Well,
knew
one-
what And he knew why we were there.
I mean, that's
You
true.
should have known that I was going to do something terrible. And that's his fault and not mine.
Well, I mean, if there's one thing I've learned from Aldo, he lets people make their own decisions.
I don't agree with that. I rarely let people make their own decisions. We have a very different philosophy.
Not only that, but a fog is encompassing all of London, and we're the only ones that go to the source.
I've also noticed he tends to give people chances. If you are embroiled in politics this far above your heads, he must see something in you. I have no idea what it is, but...
Entree, I also do not believe in giving people chances. So you can see I'm quite fundamentally different from Aldo. Clearly my way is the correct way, and his way is a problem. Wouldn't you agree?
I've seen his way work, and I've seen his way cause a lot of problems, so I won't disagree.
And I rarely have problems, if ever. Right? So my way seems to be the best. At least for me. But Thurston, all in all, that is what has happened to catch you up on things.
I'll be honest, I'm glad I got lost.
That might have been a blessing in disguise, right? I can't imagine what you might have said, what might have slipped out of your mouth to make things
Exactly. Right.
compoundingly worse for us. All right.
Mhm.
So thank you, Thurston, for knowing when to step aside.
Well, I mean, it was the fog. I kind of fell into a manhole, and from there, I wasn't sure where to find you, so...
I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt and believe in your foresight, and you're telling me you're a cartoon character falling in manholes. So please, just leave those details to yourself, for all of our sakes.
Really,
that's a
that's-
cartoon.
It's the joys, you know. You've never seen those.
You know, when it's in the round thing and it spins really fast and you see the horse run?
Oh, one of those moving pictures. Ah, I see.
There you go. Anyway, you just pointed the best sewer to drop her off, and we'll be on our way.
Well, I don't think that she'd be able to make it all the way back on by herself. I'd much... I'd
Would you like
more
us
like
to escort her in? Sure.
I mean, yeah, if you don't mind coming with me, or I can go by myself. It's
No, I would like to go with you for this one.
sounds good to me.
Eveline, it's up to you if you'd like to traverse the sewers or not. I will not make you. I'll turn to Lantre. Eveline is the one exception to me not making people do things.
I will give a slight nod to Evelyn, and I can see why.
You've seen nothing yet.
Can we stop by a florist on the way there?
Sure. We'll stop by to buy flowers, as one does before going into the sewers. I could still afford those.
Laundry could have let out a little bit of a laugh, but quickly stifle it.
And from the florist, I would be getting purple hyacinths and white poppies.
Drug flowers.
I mean, sorry.
They mean opium.
Which can also mean sorry.
I mean, she used to be addicted to opium, so.
Now she's moved on to cocaine. And we will have the carriage come to a halt on Thurston's order, outside one of the sewers he knows he can access, to gain entry and meet up with the rest of Nosferatu. Before you descend down into the undercroft and tunnels of London, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. 2 of them.
Damn.
The
Sorry.
besuited Harold Tanner walks out of the shadows, his extremely monstrous visage of almost bubble-like flesh and strange bone-like fingers comes into view, and he greets Thurston. Thurston,
Harold?
good evening. You bring friends.
Yes.
What pretty
Most
looking
importantly.
things. Yes.
I bring back Clara. I do not know how long she's been away, but I can imagine far too long.
How on earth did you find her? She's been missing for at least 2 weeks.
Well, good friend here, Aldrich, found her captured by someone that I was coming to report for doing unsavory things to our kind.
Which one of these pretty fleshy creatures is that?
It's none of
Oh,
us.
that would be me. Oh, I'm Aldrich. But the one who did this to her, should be quite easy to find. He goes by the moniker Young Man.
We'll get to
And he is-
that.
Oh.
Give me your hand.
Me?
You?
Why?
Are you asking why when you're in someone else's haven? Just give me your hand. Don't think above your station.
I'll hold out the normal hand to him.
And he'll wrap his own grotesque hands around it and start sniffing at you very vigorously. I haven't smelled one like you before. Interesting. Judging from your appearance, you're not exactly the most caring of our kind, are you? It's okay to be
The
honest.
hell is that supposed to mean?
You have a very death-like pallor to you.
Because I'm upper class. Is there a point to all of this?
I can loan you some rouge.
We like to know who we owe favors to. But one thing I wonder, with a disposition such as yours, why on earth would you help one of us?
Oh, it's quite simple. I am not only a pretty face, I am a thinking man. And I am not stupid, and I know if someone on my property is committing crimes against your clan, it's likely to come back on me. I do not have any ill will, and quite the opposite, actually. I like your clan quite a bit. Thurston here has been... Can't imagine life without him. But this other person, who's a problem for your clan, is also a problem for all kind. So, I need no favor from you, sir, or your clan. I just want to give you the information you need to take care of your problem.
You do this out of wisdom rather than empathy.
You could say so.
I can and I do. A wise choice, a thinking man's choice, and one that we can respect. Point us in our direction, and we will consider it a boon to you to remove this affliction if you so wish.
Hey, we're gonna go talk to him.
We could talk to him after you're done with him.
No, you can't.
Oh well. Evelyn, maybe there's a letter you can start writing and they can pass it along.
And no, I I need to talk to him.
Mr. Aldrich. Step
Yes.
into my office.
What was your name, by the way?
Mr. Tanner.
Right.
Step into my office. Thurston, I'm sure if anyone knows where Clara takes haven, it's you.
Yes, I will make sure she gets home safe.
Good boy, put her away. I know she'd welcome you in her haven. She's been quite looking forward to it.
I give him the flowers. Here, these are for her.
You giving them to Harold or Thurston?
There's
I've got Clara in a bridal carry, so you can.
Well, I'm
Put
still
them
trying
in
to
there.
hand them to
Yeah, I just kind of lift her up to where you put it in her lap, but that's about it. Yeah.
How thoughtful.
I'll set them nicely. Kind of fluff them up.
I will leave you with, whatever this thing is. No offense. Mr. Aldrich, step this way.
Right.
Scurry around the corner.
Just call me a thing?
No, Lantre.
Yeah.
Oh, laundry's a thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was speaking about laundry, dear.
Okay.
And Aldrich is escorted. Sorry, please.
I'm just going to say to Laundry, you should have smiled at him.
I'll give a slight grin.
I see there is some of the hidden in you. Wonderful. Try not to mess up the place. We've got the turds just where we like them.
Laundry is actually just like looking about, not paying much attention, seeming to look for someone.
And Aldrich and Harold Tanner walk off one of the many offshoots and into a strange, room-like place. It is dirty, soot-filled, rotting away upon the walls, and an extremely old, forgotten about desk. Please, take a seat. Don't literally take the seat. Do you know how long it takes for someone to flush a seat down a loo?
We have other things to do tonight, so excuse my lack of patience. What do you need to talk about?
It seems you are in something of a conflict with at least one of your members about the fate of this soon-to-be-removed kindred. Perhaps we should come to a timing arrangement.
Listening?
Well, far be it from me to deprive the young lady of speaking to the soon-to-be deceased. But he is going to die. Make no mistake about it. It's just a matter of when.
How soon can you take care of this?
We could have done it 10 minutes ago.
Right, maybe that should be our next stop then. I don't want there to be any time passes between Evelyn's last words to the young man and you taking care of business.
But
Right,
surely-
he seems to have some sort of hold on her, right? So if we go and visit him on our own, things may take a turn for the worse. I'd like her to have a brief moment to say what she needs to say and then the matter taken care of.
What if she witnesses it? Does that matter?
No.
Very well. You will have company until you have spoken with this thing.
so we can leave from here and you'll be prepared.
Oh, yes.
Perfect. I'll let them know where we're going so they can get started with everything they need to do.
You don't need to
Oh.
worry. Like I say, you'll have company until you speak to him.
Right. Very well. Yeah. Go back out. Right, change of plans, Evelyn. They have allowed... they are allowing your request to speak to him. So, you should do that now,
Oh, thank goodness. I knew they'd see sense.
of course. L'entrée, I apologize for yet another detour, but keep your eyes peeled and things should be quite interesting, I promise.
Sounds like fun. And I'll give a smile.
A detour from what? It's not like he's here for anything.
Have to stop doing that. True. Into the carriage then.
While this is going on, Thurston is taking Clara into her haven and placing her neatly upon the excuse of a bed that she has. She manages to open her eyes and look up at Thurston. Where are we?
You're back at home, dear.
My home?
Yes,
How did I get here? What happened?
I carried. Well, you were captured by a very, very bad kindred, and then we
Aldrich?
happened to. No, surprisingly, he was the one that found you.
Aldrich rescued me?
Well, I helped.
Well, of course you did, love. I
He
was
just
holding
really
out for a
found you.
hero.
Well, you did what you had to do. And I don't know where I'm going with this. Here, while you're resting, are there any like cups or
Yeah, there'll be some sort of container, broken,
yeah.
covered in mud, or worse.
No, you know what? I'll take out one of the empty vials that I use to capture like bugs in and whatnot, because it's cleaner and a bit nicer. And I'll nick part of my arm and fill it up for her.
So kind, Thurston. Thank you so much.
Of course, you need everything you can to get back on your feet.
Before you go, a
Yes.
kiss?
Of course.
You going full mouth?
I'm at Humanity 4. Kinda, but it's not great.
Yeah. And you will notice I can't think of a pleasant way to say this, so I'm just going to go full on hog. As your tongue explores inside of her mouth, you will quite obviously taste blood. And she has once again attempted to blood bond you, and you'll know that. But she doesn't know that you're immune to being blood bonded.
I know.
And as you leave her, the remains of her hand will be stroking at your cheek as you're leaning back and looking down on her broken body. And she just rests.
Do rest well, my dear. I'll see you when I see you.
Thank you, my sweet. She'll curl up into fetal position with broken, cuddly toy that's got like an arm off of it, missing an eye and all that kind of thing.
Mhm.
And you'll
Yeah,
go
well.
out.
No, I was pretty much going to say the same thing you were.
And then you'll meet up with the rest of the coterie on the top side in Aldrich's carriage, I assume. And is there anything you wish to talk about en route?
You know, I do respect your wishes to speak to him, Evelyn, but it is quite anger-inducing that he has decided to prey on such naive and, well, just naive people like our dear Clara.
Oh, I am going to have words with him about that.
What is exactly? Why are you so eager to speak with young man rather than let him reap what he's sowing?
He needs to see the error of his ways.
If that's all you're concerned with, I think this will be just fine. What if he's unable to, though?
That was going to be my next step.
Surely he'll see sense.
Surely. Well, let us hope. If anyone can talk some sense into him, it is you, Evelyn.
The carriage ride continues in an almost awkward silence as Lantre keeps passing his eyes from one of the coterie to the other, still not entirely sure about what is going on and feeling part of his sanity slipping out, until eventually the carriage comes to a rest outside the theatre.
I
Who would like to
just
head in?
like this. Every time Lantre's eyesight meets Thurston's, I always just give him a slight wink.
And I always smile back.
Actually, Lantre, before we go in, would it be terribly rude of me to check something?
No.
Are you gonna look under his robes?
I'm just like looking at like Aldrich, like I'm just kind of expecting him to just like, like rip my arm off or something, but
I'm not going to check under his robes, Evelyn. I'll have class. But I do want to kind of stick my fingers at his mouth, almost like you check a horse. I just want to like see what's going on there.
I'm going to continue trying to smile. It's very difficult, but I'm going to keep trying.
Somebody please clip that.
Unless he bares his fangs, his mouth will appear appropriately normal. Barely any teeth. Those that are there are rotten.
Alright.
You said that to me last night and everything, Kendi.
God. You have a very unnerving smile. I don't know if anyone's told you that. Just see if it was get to the bottom of it. Oh, very well. I'll just sort of wipe my hand on his shirt a little bit if I get any, who knows, blood, saliva.
I think
we should head in.
saliva is one of the few things that kindred still do have.
That's true, because they lick wounds.
Mm.
Weird lore. Before we go in, I do want to take away my hearing. Essentially fleshcraft myself to close my ear canals.
Yeah. I'll let you do that for free because, that would be... The drama added from that would not be conducive. So that'll be a free roll.
Done. Cool. That'll just sort of focus and sort of massage the side of his head a little bit. It wouldn't really be anything noticeable on the outside until he's made the adjustments.
You will still hear things if people are close enough, simply because of your permanent heightened senses. But they will have to be still fairly close.
Okay. Then we'll head in.
As soon as we get there, as soon as the carriage stops, I get out, not even waiting for Aldrich.
Okay.
Well, we should probably follow after her. She's clearly on a mission.
Right, we should probably follow after her. She seems to be on some sort of mission.
Laundry
Pull
just
that
looks
in.
out smiling.
While they are having
Yeah.
that chat, Eveline. God. What happens when my chat thing gets stuck, doesn't it? 2 for me. Composure and wits, please.
Is he doing entrancement before he even knows I'm there?
Well, you've burst in ahead, and so he's
Okay.
taking this advantage to entrance you. Ooh.
Oh.
And so you
Oh boy.
are.
One chance.
So the coterie, sans Eveline, walk into the theatre, and they are greeted to the sight of Eveline and young man having an almost flirtatious conversation. His hands are stroking her face, and she seems thoroughly enraptured by the attention being lavished upon her. He's even going so far as to stealing a kiss on her neck once in a while.
I don't believe that is the chat we were expecting her to have, is it?
Laundry just got an eyebrow raise. He's kind of like looking at. He's quite surprised at the turn of events.
Aldrich's just really, I mean, he knows something's up. He's just going to be focusing on Eveline. He's going to try his best to ignore young man.
And young man, noticing you entering, "Oh, we're both so pleased you're here for our announcement. A very special announcement. We are to be wed. Isn't that right, my
This
darling?"
isn't my first proposal, of course, but how could I say no?
You know, this is the time where usually I say that things are happening that aren't quite normal, and then you say that no, this is very normal, so I'm just not going to say anything. Right, Aldrich? Aldrich? I wave.
I mean,
What?
a man of such talent and class. I finally found my equal.
They're getting married, Aldrich. Isn't that weird?
I'm gonna like make with my two hands, like my hands are kissing each other, and I'm going to make that symbol, you know, over toward Aldrich with like my eyebrow raised.
Right. I agree.
Agreed to the marriage? Oh, I was so afraid. I was worried that you wouldn't approve, but this is all just working out so perfectly.
Well, Audrey can see that we are clearly meant for each other, that we are deeply in love, and that I need you as much as you need me.
I'll kiss him.
Full on with tongues and everything.
Sure.
Yeah? Anyone want to do anything while that is going on?
Yeah, I'm going to lean to Thurston. What
All right,
is happening?
I'm just going to go and see Ms. Hart's for real, and just for immersion purposes, we're going to...
Wait.
How long of a flight is that? Yes, Aldrich?
I'm surprised he didn't automatically know that.
Yeah, right.
That's
It's about
suspicious.
14 hours.
That's it.
What?
Are you?
I take it the talk has gone well.
No. We walked in here, and now they're proposed. They're engaged to each other, and now I'm speaking to you as if I don't know. Why can't you hear me?
He's just more or less now ignoring, and he's sort of scanning the room, looking around a bit, waiting impatiently. You can see a tension about him.
Okay.
Lantra is kind of wondering. He's going to like whisper the word Aldo and see if Aldrich responds to it.
He doesn't hear it, but you can see a trickle of blood come out of his ear. His body knows.
Young man and Eveline finish their romantic kiss. And as that young man is holding Eveline's face in his hand and stroking her cheek with the back of his fingers, Eveline notices the young man's neck slowly opening of its own accord, being split open with blood gushing down his chest, until finally the cut is deep and his head is left dangling in mid-air as his body crumples to the floor, and a Nosferatu slowly comes into vision, holding young man's
scream.
head by its hair.
And of course, my scream is. Aldrich hears it.
Yeah, you would definitely hear that.
On his death, would the entrancement be broken?
Technically, no. Not as far as I can tell, because once it's been cast, it's been casted. It is only going to last 1 hour, though.
Soon as
I will start scream sobbing.
Oh, this is why you deafened yourself. I understand now.
Lantra's over there smiling and clapping.
And the Nosferatu, displaying the head, will give a graceful bow to Aldrich, Lantre, and Thurston, and then exit stage right.
Do they take the head with them?
Oh yeah.
I try and stop them.
Nosferatu opens its gaping maw at you, bearing 4 fangs.
I mean, I'm still entranced, so it's not going to affect me, really. I'm going to still try and block their way.
If you want his cock, it's over on that bit. This bit stays with us for now. And before your eyes, you will see the young man's head is slowly rotting away. I say slowly. Considering how soon this has happened, it's very swiftly change and decay, and the same with his body.
I will just drop to my knees, sobbing. You can't take him with you. It was my love, my betrothed.
I mean, it was just young man. There's no need to feel down.
Lantra's going to find a chair and he's going to sit down engrossed in the performance.
You're in a theater, so you got front row seats. He's the only man I ever loved.
And Nosferatu would just look at you, turn the head to you, grab the jaw and say, "It's nothing to lose your head over." And then slowly cast... I never remember the name of the one that he can use to actually obfuscate when someone is watching, but that's the one he's using.
Vanish.
I knew it was something plain, simple, like invisibility. But vanish.
Go away.
And taking the head with him.
I will collapse in a sobbing heap. Anyone tries to move me, it'll be impossible.
Aldrich will approach, I guess probably still be able to hear generally what's going on with the crying because Eveline.
You'd hear everything Eveline said.
Just mostly muted. But he'll go and just pat a couple times on the shoulder. Right, there. Take all the time you need. Most unfortunate, this.
All alone. Red tears are streaming down my face.
A balloon? Right, we can get one of those. And then he will leave her to work out whatever she needs to work out. He's not going to push too much on this or try to intervene for his own health.
I'm just kind of sitting over by Lantre. So, Lantre, with how much Aldo speaks of us, is this about what you were expecting?
No, if I'm going to be honest, but this is great.
Well, that wasn't the reaction I was expecting, but I'll take it.
Well, I mean, you have to understand, Aldo's my master, but that's mostly because he knows everything I do. It's not like I can exactly do anything else.
True. I just don't know if it's one of those, you never meet your heroes moments where you hear about them for, what was it, you said 20 years, and then you finally meet them and they, I don't know, get proposed and then widowed within the matter of 5 minutes?
Well, the one I was most interested in meeting was you, Mr. Thurston.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, I know that Aldo spoke highly of me when we were together, but I think it was because I was the only one that did not antagonize him as much as the other.
No, he said you were the only one with the brain.
That's the first time I've heard that compliment.
And I'm looking out of the corner of my eyes to see if Aldrich, responds to this.
No, Aldrich would probably be passing and say, we should give her a moment. She wants a balloon.
Launcher's
He's
gonna
gonna
nod, like sagely in agreement.
Step out of the theater and sort of adjust his hearing once he's out of the theater. Now that he's not worried about... He's very much worried about her reaction to this. Correctly assumed she would start screaming after him, was afraid of the consequences, but...
I think it would really come down to if, first of all, you'd be willing to wait for her entrancement to end, and whether on what Eveline would do after that remaining time has gone by. It's only an hour.
I have every intention to sit there sobbing for an hour.
Willing to wait an hour? You could go and get balloon while you wait.
I'm just gonna whisper to Thurston, my master said we might be at the theater for a while tonight.
Balloons were a thing then. I don't know if I could get one at this time of night.
Yeah, I was literally Googling the same thing.
You could fleshcraft one, that would be fantastic.
Oh
my
God.
God.
That has to be Aldrich's last scene, going away in a flesh-crafted hot air balloon.
Amazing.
Around the world in 80 days! 80 days!
Actually, it'd be 80 nights.
Oh, touche.
Yeah, he would wait outside for... He would definitely start getting impatient. But... we'll give a... I feel like an hour is probably right at the max. Like, at an hour, you're probably like, alright, we need to do something. But it is Eveline. Something horrible just happened. And also, he's very nervous about interrupting whatever process she's going through. So I feel like right at an hour is probably when he'd be like, right, we need to check on it. We need to make something happen here.
Yeah, I mean, I believe you. You and Evelyn spend the most time together when we're doing missions and whatnot and whatever. So I believe you when you speak for how Evelyn acts, but the amount of emotion she went through within the span of, I don't know, 15 minutes was just, it seemed very out of character for Evelyn.
It was a bit much, but I'm not really good. I don't know what's out of character for at this moment. She always surprises me with what she is capable of.
Yeah, it's
She's
almost
capable
as if
of reacting.
Constantly being told to do things by different people all around the city. It's so
It's just
hard.
being a woman in Victorian England.
Yeah. It's so
Does she
hard to
normally?
get a grip on what she normally acts like. I'm sorry, Montre, what?
Well, I was just wondering if she normally sobs in one spot for an hour.
No, I haven't seen her quite this. I've seen her angry, sad.
For over
Just-
an hour.
Oh yeah, I've not seen her quite this sad before though. It's a bit disheartening. I do feel bad.
I mean, I guess if someone you truly did care about, you found out that they were torturing people in their basement, I would find it to be quite upsetting. But she was saying she was going to get, she was engaged to him right after learning this, so. You missed
He
that part,
certainly
that's
he had
okay.
some sort of sway over her. That is for sure. I'm not sure how much of it was him, and how much of it was her really hoping for the best with young man.
I mean, maybe she just likes the bad boy type, you know?
Either way, we should tread carefully, cautiously.
So, typical night. Got it.
Right. All right. Let's see if we can't fix this or at least survive it. Now, head back in the theater.
Did young man give me a ring?
Yes.
Asking the important question.
Was it a big diamond?
It was a wonderful silver band with amazingly large blood diamond on it.
Perfect.
Well,
Granted, that would be on my left hand, which is currently porcelain. So as the entrancement wears off, kind of collect myself, clean my face off, and search over his body. Check his pockets.
You won't find anything of particular interest. Things like a pocket knife, razor, potato peeler.
Now we know what Shiv keeps in his pockets. Is that a potato peeler, or are you happy to see me?
You'll have to accept my marriage proposal and then wait for me to die after to find out.
I will take the potato peeler. It was his potato peeler. No. I will still have felt loss because of all the entrancement, didn't really know what's going on. But I'm much more composed now. Crying is done. Much more logical, much more rational. When everyone comes in, I'm looking over the body methodically. They took the head. What do we do about this?
Body. I will. What would you like to do about it? Would you like to see it properly buried with all the respects, or do you simply want it to not see it anymore?
I just want it out of my sight.
Very well. I will put it in the carriage, and you will not have to worry about it anymore.
It's extremely desiccated, almost skeletal at this point.
Maybe there's enough to make a balloon out of it for her, though.
Right. Are you good to continue with our plans for this evening, or do you need to take the night off?
We should still stop by his former caretakers. Let him know that he's gone.
All right. We can certainly do that.
Would you like to head to the caretakers or Endymion's instructions first?
Oh shit! I forgot
It's up to Eveline.
Caretakers.
Okay.
Right. If you lads could escort Eveline to the carriage, I will take care of the body.
Of course.
What would you like to do with the body?
There's barely anything left of it.
It's mostly skeletal, yeah.
I'm just gonna use my heavy hand. I'm just gonna smash it, crumple it, put it in a dumpster in the alley.
You trash
No problem.
compacted it.
Yes.
Smash it, crumple it, put it in the stew.
Yes. There was more of it. I thought about using it for parts, but
It's
Yeah.
You go manky.
Too far
really
gone.
quick. And with that sorted out.
is there any blood left in him?
No.
I know it's skeletal. Yeah. No. So yeah, compacted and thrown away.
That reminds me, I'm really hungry.
So we need to get a bite on the way.
Be a good idea.
In the interest of time saving, I will let you all just do your feeding rolls.
I
We're gonna
guess,
assume I sang and seduced during it.
I don't actually need any, but I just want it because I like drugs.
Yeah, I don't need me either. But Shiv, should I make a rouse check for when I gave Clara a little bit of blood earlier? 'Cause
Yes.
I didn't.
Thank you, yes.
I'm actually gonna re-roll.
You were fine.
Yeah,
3
that's-
successes is fine.
I'm still gonna re-roll because if I can get, I mean, I'm at 4. If I can get more blood out of it, the better.
Yeah, you'll be able. You don't need to re-roll for that.
Oh, okay.
So you may stake 3 hunger, but you're going to take a humanity stain for 3 hunger.
Okay.
Lantre somehow. No,
Not gonna make it.
no.
That's your predator roll? You eat,
Yeah.
bro?
Yeah. Wow.
Instant ramen blood. Audrey,
Extra spicy.
you're absolutely fine. Satisfied. Thurston, you didn't feed, so all good. And you proceed onwards to Lord Soothby's mansion. With the carriage pulling up, who would like to go out to the front door?
I mean, obviously, I am.
I will escort her.
And the 2 of you
Yeah, I'll
leave the
follow behind.
carriage. The 3 of you leave the carriage.
I'll lock
Walk
cars with
towards.
launcher.
The door is answered by Lord Soothby himself, who looks at you all with this strange look. We don't give to beggars here.
Don't you remember me? I have news about a young man.
I'm sorry, who and who? Who? What? What is this? Is this some sort of scam?
I'm sorry.
Suppose your carriage broke its wheel just a little bit further down and you need to come in and rob me of my worldly goods, correct?
Sir, do I look like the type of woman that would rob you?
Yes.
Lantre smiling.
I am sorry. I must be mistaken of what house I went to, but I do not deserve this kind of treatment. And I will stomp away, carrying Aldrich in my arm with me.
All right.
Bloody robbers. And what about you, bloody two? Lingering around on my doorstep. Lepers, is it? Is that what your cause is? We don't do charity here either. Go and sleep in the poorhouses. Better yet, die in a gutter and decrease the surplus population.
I'm just gonna whisper to Thurston, I like this guy.
Actually, considering the way he talked to Evelyn, so do I.
Are you going to just talk amongst yourselves rather than me?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Have a good night, and I'm going to sneeze and, make sure a giant chunk of saliva just hits the floor right in front of his foot.
Okay.
Before I walk away.
Bloody lepers. What the bloody hell? What? To me? No? Okay. And he'll just slam the door.
Lantre's
So
still
return to the
standing
carriage.
there, just looking at the door, smiling.
Ugh.
Lantre, we can leave now.
I would really love to talk to him a little bit more.
I have the feeling he does not feel the same way. Come on, let's carry on.
That's what makes it fun.
You really are Aldo's... Yep.
Have you spoken with Aldo? He's basically the only one I ever get to speak with. Okay, this guy is nice.
You know, honestly, maybe you should come around more often. I almost feel bad.
Lantre's gonna give like this huge smile. It's gonna be horrifying. Like it's a terrible smile. He's got his lips like, he's got them pulled
Don't-
up. And he's
Don't
got
get too
all his
excited.
teeth showing.
I still have to ask Aldrich.
And then like the smiles immediately can disappear, and then he's just gonna be like, "Yeah, you're right."
You return to the carriage.
Mm-hmm.
Heading towards the outskirts of London on the west side. And is there anything you wish to talk about upon your journey?
I will be crying again, but not the huge spectacle. I'll be quietly hoping no one sees me, wiping tears away from my eyes. Not for a young man this time, but realizing that someone had wiped the memory of Lord Sotheby.
Landre doesn't know what's going on, so he doesn't want to be rude, but he's looking out the window with this look of wonderment on his face, because for most of the time that he's known Evelyn, she's been crying, and he just doesn't know what to make of this.
It's very much not Eveline.
Eveline? More like Emoline.
Wow.
Shameful.
The coteries carriage makes its way through the city, cutting through the light mist that elevates a few centimetres above the water-soaked cobblestones. The sounds of the wheels rolling over the bumpy streets and the horses' shoes clopping through the night fill the car as they travel, until it finally comes to a stop outside the main city. The march of human development has not reached out this far, and the small bit of countryside is almost scenic and serene, if it weren't for the silhouette of the distant grunge of the overlooking city of London. Just off from the trail that they arrived on is the small shed sitting among the bushes and trees, barely obscured by casual passing observers' eyes. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Remind me, what exactly are we here for again? I know it's for the...
What did the letter say? Just we would find it curious
Something of interest.
or interesting.
Well, if he says so, then I can't fault him for it. I'm guessing you want me to go first.
Sure, if you insist.
Very well. Lantre, would you like to join me?
Lantra is going to look quite taken aback that anyone wants to have anything to do with him, and he's just going to give a smile and just like a nod, and he's ready to go.
Yes, come with me. We will find out what safe thing is here together.
The shack's damp door opens silently under the Kindred's hand, revealing the plain, empty insides. Although it has been abandoned for quite some time, it seems there is only a thin layer of dust on the surfaces and hanging in the air. Does anyone have sense the unseen?
Nope.
Okay.
Aldrich, it's very dark and plain in here.
Sounds like it's safe to enter. Evelyn?
As long as Aldrich's arm is in mine, I take that as permission to enter.
And Lantra is still just kind of looking behind to see if she's going to start crying again or something.
Oh, poor Lantre.
Evelyn, Aldrich, do either of you sense the unseen?
No, that is our cursed discipline powers. People who have that disappear.
It's not often I say this, but wish Inspector Grey was here. In that case, wits and awareness for me, please. Someone, anyone.
Do that. Oh, maybe I shouldn't.
Someone who's not me. I have 2 dice in that.
Yeah, same. I was thinking of Cedra. I can do intelligence and
Aren't you a
investigation.
Tremere?
Yes.
I have sense the unseen. Damn. Useless wizards.
I have aspects, but I chose not to take sense the unseen because other people had it.
I do actually have sense the unseen. My bad.
Oh, you do? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Sense the unseen for me, please.
Sorry, give me a second. I forgot to transfer that one over. Hold on just a second.
I think it's wits and awareness. No. Is it wits and awareness off the top of my head?
Shoot, I don't
No,
remember
it's something with the discipline. I don't remember what it is.
Wits
Wits and
aspects,
discipline.
usually.
It's which hold on. I don't know. Hold on. Pulling up my other character sheet here, sorry.
Does anybody need premonition?
I'll tell you what, Lantre, I'm going to count that as an automatic success, but it's going to increase your hunger by 1.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. As Lantre casts his undead senses across the room, he notices that on the back wall, a strange symbol is barely painted on. It is slightly dull, as if it has been left there for quite some time. He walks over to it, and the kindred pushes cautiously upon it, and a distant click fills the wooden shed. At the centre of the room, a large trapdoor snaps open. Thurston cautiously opens it, revealing a sandstone set of stairs that lead down into the earth itself, and small flame torches lighting the way forward.
Well, at least we found something of interest. Lantre, I'll follow you down. Since you
Then-
can see the things that we cannot.
Very good thinking, Thurston. Way to plan.
Lantre's gonna slouch a little bit because he just has no choice and he's just gonna walk down.
Everyone proceeding down?
Oh yeah, I wait a few steps though before I follow him.
As we're waiting back, I'm just gonna lean into Thurston. Thurston, you're learning. Proud of you.
I learned from the best. And I give him a wink.
One of my favourite phrases to say. Is there anything you'd like to talk about as you go down?
I know where we're going with that.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
As the coterie step through the barely lit sandstone hall, Thurston steps on what he thinks is a loose stone. It sinks into the floor, and the sides of the hallway stones slide open as darts begin to shoot out from all directions. Everyone, dexterity and athletics, please.
What did you do?
Wait, who stepped on it? I wasn't the first one in there.
You still stepped on it.
Yeah, but you're the one that would have stepped on it.
You are a cartoon character.
Do I have -1 on dexterity with that, even though it's not hand related? Okay.
You said athletics, right?
Even if it's not hand stuff, it's still -1 dexterity. Dex and athletics, yes please, Thurston. Where was your roll on tray? Okay.
I may be a cartoon character, but I'm the Roadrunner this time.
Thurston is able to duck and weave out of the way of the incoming darts. Unfortunately, the rest of the coterie are impacted with razor-sharp wooden spikes. You each take 4 superficial damage as the wooden darts are embedded in your flesh. I think that's bad. You should have seen what happened on a critical fail or a messy crit.
Everyone, there are booby traps. Be careful where you step.
I'm just gonna turn around and I'm gonna smile at Thurston, but it's not a happy smile, and like if possible, it's like even more horrifying than before. Thank you for that.
In the words of a wise man, a booby trap for actual boobies.
I'll be honest, Lantre, I'm not quite sure what you're trying to get across, but I'm going to hope you understood what I said and you watch where you step.
I promise I will be careful. Big smile.
Good boy.
Quick. What exactly is the power of my wellies again?
What's the word I'm looking for? It just deflects water from around them.
Okay, just water. Okay.
It doesn't help with darts, if that's what you're asking.
No, I'm wondering if they would help me maybe avoid stepping on a booby trap.
No.
I would like to rouse the blood to mend myself.
Please do.
I see him doing that and think that's a good idea and do it too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it twice if I can.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
I'm going to do it twice as well. Oh.
And you're going to gain 2 hunger for it.
Balance.
This is the equivalent of, would anyone like to take a quick rest?
Yeah, but our rests can drive us insane.
Yeah, our rest is rather dangerous.
Is there anything lit up in here, or?
The coterie's footsteps echo against the stone floor and walls, echoing down the barely flame-lit hallways until the coterie reach a strange chamber. Contained in cut-out nooks throughout the room are small flames, still burning despite being isolated from the room and providing barely enough light to show the heavy dust around. Although strangely absent in the center of the room, the only thing left is a strange clay-like snake statue. On the walls are various symbols that the coterie are able to recognize as hieroglyphics.
exactly was Patricia's order again with the figure?
I'm going to phrase it in a not bad way.
Thank you.
When the cat warms up, you are to find a way to get word to her that it has warmed up. And tell her who you are with and what you're doing.
I would like to use Phantom Speaker, where I can throw my voice to someone I know wherever they are, and tell her that the figure has warmed up, and I am with my coterie, and give her the location of the shack.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
And if I can, mention the snake and the hieroglyphics.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
My intention is to make it seem like the snake and the hieroglyphics is the reason it warmed up.
It seems to be some sort of riddle. We usually have an inspector or Malkavian for this, L'Entrée. You are now tasked with figuring this out.
Great.
Go on. This seems magical. Should be easy for you. I've already figured it out. I want to make sure you can.
I mean, I have no bloody idea what to roll. Storyteller, can I roll anything?
For what?
I'd love to know if I understand what it is. What would it be, like academic and investigation or
Yeah,
something?
do intelligence and academics for me, please.
Now, here's the question. If I'm not exactly studying, but I've got
No, it
research
doesn't
and
count.
academics, but I need that.
Every
Okay.
fucking game with L'Entrée. Every fucking
Every game. Okay, what am I rolling? Investigation and wits, or what?
Intelligence and academics. Thurston, what do you say?
Because I brought up the the Egyptian stuff before, can I make the same roll?
You may. L'Entrée, you've got no fucking clue.
Yeah, I had no
I've
idea.
only got 1 dot more than he does, so let's see.
Thurston, you have no fucking clue either.
Did
Would
we
I-
see Eveline do the thing? Does she actually speak?
Well, I mean,
We
I
just don't
am
hear it?
throwing my voice, so
L'Entrée, you
I would
have
probably
been
do
given a reroll. Thank you, Ganassi child.
I do have to speak it, so I would probably be whispering it, but
Yeah, do we see her just randomly whispering?
You'd hear it because of your heightened senses.
Oh, didn't see that coming.
Ooh.
So what did
Yeah,
you say?
yeah.
I called for help from someone who may know.
Who are you talking to?
Do you remember Patricia?
I do.
I have a feeling she may know what this is and can help.
Off in the other side of the chamber. Aldrich, good news! I figured out that they're pictures.
It sounds like Thurston has figured it out. But you might be onto something, right? Yes, this might make sense to her. Do we want to get her involved in this, though? We're here on Endymion business. And she doesn't quite seem to like anyone but you.
But she likes me, so why not use it?
Out of game, we've wrapped up the Setite stuff as far as Aldrich's concerned, right? We found
No.
going on. What's left to do with that?
We were kind
Well,
of
it was
supposed to infiltrate them, weren't we?
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was to expose that one person, and then we did. And then we got the favor of oh cool, you've exposed them. Now you get to either talk to Anne or we'll get you in that club. I thought that's why we did the Setite stuff.
You've still got at least 3 others to get rid of. Halen Bay and his childer.
Oh, we're supposed to get rid of... Okay.
Lantre, as we've been negotiating behind the scenes for success at cost, you will increase your hunger by 1,
Oh boy. Okay.
and you have the epiphany to pick up literally the only object in the entire room, the snake.
Oh, is it small enough to pick up?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up and pick up the little snake.
Are you offended that he called your snake little?
Not the first time. First time he's picked it up without me having to bribe him, though. As you pick up the snake, it turns into a live, wrangling black asp made of pure evil and bites you upon your palm. You take 2 superficial damage. But
Outstanding.
as the venom courses through your veins, the chamber hieroglyphs blur in and out of focus until finally, as you cast your eyes upon them, their meaning is injected into your mind.
How fantastic.
You will notice that the back wall contains 2 jackal-like drawings facing each other, their hands held aloft over their heads as they bow. Between their hands is what looks like a small nook, although it is now empty. And you will know that this says the Binding Stone of Nephron-Ka.
Is the snake still there? Because if so, I'd like to kill it.
Yeah, but it's turned back into a statue.
Oh, okay.
Why is it always snakes?
Aldrich, the snake was, well, it was real for a moment. It bit Lantre. He's okay, though.
Ah, it's a shame.
Lantre,
Cilantro, not Aldo.
is there anything else you'd like to do while you are still able to understand the meaning of the hieroglyphics?
I mean, wait, is there anything on the other walls?
Yes.
I'd like to read the east wall. I don't know which wall. The one, the left
All-
wall.
All of the translations speak of the guardian Nephron-Ka, that any who hold the resurrection stone command him, though his will is great. Thurston, wits and awareness or intelligence and investigation, which would you prefer?
Awareness.
Wits and awareness for me, please.
I'll
Fucking
reroll.
really?
I'll reroll 3 of those. There you go.
That's good enough for me. And Thurston, you will find as you are investigating and rummaging the remains of a small receipt for a shipment of tea addressed to Halen Bay's shop.
That was the guy that we went in and threatened, and then he wiped all of our memories, and we just walked back out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't
Well,
remember.
Aldrich. Well, Aldrich doesn't remember him. We all do. Well, Aldrich, there's good news and bad news. I found something, but that's the good news. The bad news is it's a receipt. Oh, you actually don't remember? You remember that setite that?
I mean, you explained it to him right when you walked
Yeah.
outside. 'Cause you were in the carriage.
Do you remember that setite that kind of pulled one over on you?
That setite that you don't remember?
Yeah. Right.
Yes, I do. I have vowed revenge on him.
Well, he apparently bought some stuff and left a receipt here. Or someone, I don't know. There's a receipt here for his shop.
This leads back to him. Interesting. Evelyn, your hunch was correct about the Setites being involved in this, then. Maybe there's something here we can use against them, ideally. Halen Bay needs to die.
Wait, Aldrich, did you not think the Setites were involved with this Egyptian chamber with a snake statue in the middle of London?
I think that is an inappropriate assumption to make. Thus, as you
But
know, the British people are very proud of the collection of other cultures' things. This could have been any British person with money.
Actually, you bring up a fair point. I redact my previous statement.
Noted.
I would like to whisper to Patricia to give her an update and say that Halen Bay is connected.
Evelyn, I'm fine with you asking for help, but you seem to be offering quite a lot of information. We want to catch Halen Bay by surprise. We were tasked with destroying Halen Bay. Right? Weren't we?
To me, on this, I am sure that this will aid in his destruction.
Patricia is not a fan of Halen Bay.
She won't be.
Well, I do like turning other kindred against our enemies, so very well. Likely minds that.
Lunche, how are you faring with your snake bite? Your statue bite? Are you okay?
So I'm guessing Lantre's a little bit. He probably stepped forward, right? So he's a little bit of distance.
Yeah.
So he's like looking at the. You said the cup, but there's nothing there, right? The binding stone is not there.
Yeah, it was like a little nook on the wall.
Okay, so he's looking at his hand, and he's looking at the empty space in the wall, and he's whispering to himself, so that's what Aldo wanted. And then he's just going to turn, and he's going to tell them what he found out about the binding stone. I mean, I'm just going to be honest, I'm not going to try to pull one over.
I definitely know that we've heard the name Nephrim Ka before. Have we heard anything about the binding stone, though? Okay.
So the binding stone is here? Like, there's an actual... or is it just...
was.
Oh, okay.
Who... Yeah, all of you. I think you can roll intelligence and wits together on these sheets, so roll that for me, please.
Yeah, I think you had me do that earlier.
That ain't too bad.
Oh.
Okay, so I've got bad news and I've got worse news.
Don't worry, I got it.
Oh my god.
I got bad news and I've got worse news.
Oh no.
Oh my god. So we all
Hey,
friendly.
three might be enough. One definitely isn't. 4 might be enough. We'll see.
It's a critical.
Yeah, I'll make 3 enough because otherwise it's going to be absolute abject chaos, and that is not what we want at this time. But Evelyn is still going to be... Okay.
He's not having a good night.
You will be looking at the nook and the vague outline of the shape and size, and just in your distant memories, you can realize that you've seen something like this before, of this shape and this size. Although you are unsure exactly where you saw it before. Evelyn desperately tries to remember, knowing that she needs a win. Unfortunately, the beast crawls inside of her skull before her memories form. Evelyn cannot use teamwork and performs any action that avoids establishing dominance or challenging authority at a 2 dice penalty to all of her pools. This compulsion ends when the vampire has won and gloated over it. You are suffering from the dominance compulsion.
So, which...
I've seen this before. I'm sure none of you would. It had to have been in some high-class museum or something. But I've seen this before.
Where? A museum? Well, I mean, isn't it... didn't we find a receipt? Wouldn't it be at our friend's shop?
Yes, I've been to many high-class museums before, and I recall nothing.
Well, I mean, you can be a little forgetful. Eh?
Yes, but from what people say, not from things I've seen.
Interesting. Well, is there anything left here to explore?
Well, there's the weird statue that turned into a snake and then bit Montre, and then turned back into a statue.
Is there anything you want to do about that entree? Would it make you feel better to break the statue? Although that might curse you in some way. I don't trust things like this.
If there's anything I've learned is to leave well alone. I'm fine with leaving it here.
Very well.
Anyway,
You really are learning this.
Proceeding out?
listen. Remember, watch out for that spot, and I point exactly where I stepped at to set off the booby trap.
I do
Kosher.
not take all harm as we leave.
The coterie leave the chamber of secrets and head back up into the wooden shack. The trap door slams shut behind them, and they can hear the loud shimmer of something flying in the air. As they step out of the shack and into the night air, they are surprised by the sight of two figures barely visible under the night sky, seemingly made of sand. On her knees in front of one of them is the woman Thurston has watched so many times at night, the artist, as the other, holding an old man that Aldrich recognizes as twice blind, is on his knees in front of him, a dagger to his throat. Stood between them and the held mortals is a large white deer, rearing its antlers and shaking its head in an agitated manner. One of the large, seemingly made of sand men begins to dissolve, and envelops the woman, who screams and clutches at her throat and face as the sand spins around her body, eventually draining into her ears, nose, mouth, and eyes like water draining from a sink. She stands suddenly with a calm demeanour, tilts her head, staring at the coterie, as a strange silver sickle begins to appear in her hand, as if made from sand itself. The old man pleads for help from the coterie. What would you like to do?
I'd like to attack the figure.
Which one?
The sand figure, not the lady, the one that's attacking the old man.
Okay.
I will start singing. First I'll say, "For a young man," and I will start singing "My Heart Will Go On."
Oh no.
Okay, do a res check for me, please.
Oh, whoa.
I mean,
Nice.
I still have to.
Eveline's voice rings through the night, and the sound waves impact upon the sand person, sending streams of sand off. Next.
Oh, first, I will turn to Lantre and say, "See, I can do more than cry."
Landre is going to give a bow
Thank
at that
God
one.
you didn't
He
sing a
just-
Celine Dion song then.
Yeah, Landre is actually going to give a bow at that one. Like, that was great. That was a great quip.
Does that count as gloating?
You clever bastard. Yeah, well done. You can have a willpower point back for that, I think. That was... Yeah,
Nice.
very clever. Next. One-liners will always count as gloating. New house rule.
I
Gloating,
got
really?
I got really caught up in your really nice descriptions. What's happening to the woman I stare at in the mirror?
You get a willpower point for being nice. No. She has been enveloped by sand and has stood up after the sand has seemingly been absorbed by all the orifices on her face, and a weapon has appeared in her hand. I was specific with saying orifices on her face, otherwise I would have said she has a sandy vagina.
Lee figures that out. Seeing Twice Blind in danger. Twice Blind is not enveloped, right?
Correct.
Alright. He's going to just take a step forward and just glance around and sort of focus on whoever seems to be leading this. Which I guess is that sand thing now?
Mm-hmm.
Could be weird.
He's going to attempt to mass manipulation. And,
That's a mental-based power, right?
yes.
Are you sure you want to do that?
No? Although Aldrich wouldn't know not to.
Fair.
You can see the things have eyes. Then again, it's not. No, I mean, Aldrich wouldn't know if it's not smart and you're forecasting that. I will take the L, but he's still gonna try to do the thing.
Okay.
But we could just not bother rolling if it's not gonna work to save time.
We'll save time then.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just step forward, sort of look around and try to make eye contact with that thing and just give this command of say, right. Exit light, and tonight you, grain of sand, is off to never ever land. But nothing will happen.
And don't forget
That's
the white
fantastic.
deer in front of you as well.
Yeah, so yeah, he's essentially scanning, trying to use it on all of them, but seeing it's not working. Oh no. I'll just sort of say that and then take a step back.
Thurston, I know what tune you've got in your head. What would you like to do?
I'd probably have to make like a willpower or like a mental check of some kind to perceive whether or not I think this woman I think is not the woman I think she is.
Can you say that again in English, please?
Do I have to roll something to see through the illusion that I, as a player, know is being put on?
If it were an illusion, yeah, but it's not. So, you can't use your illusion. No one gets to use your illusion?
You.
I was ready to have a breakdown over that.
I'm not going to miss a Guns N' Roses joke.
I'll attack the deer.
Does this deer seem like intelligent and like as a
Yeah, like does it seem like against us or
is it just like watching us? What's the deer doing? 'Cause that's kind of my drawing my attention to.
The deer is on the side with the Sandmen.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to go attack the woman, but because she's the woman that Shiv said she is, I don't see a reason why Thurston would do that. So yeah, I'm gonna attack the deer.
Okay. With your sword, or are you going in bare knuckle?
Oh yeah, yeah, with my sword.
Okay, strength melee.
Been a while. I need to remember that. +1 to that.
Thurston unsheathes his sword and charges in, swiping at the deer, who is able for the most part to miss his clumsy aims and swipes, but he is able to get one nice, solid hit across the deer's body, letting blood begin to seep out. But it still stands. L'entrée.
Well, we're gonna go all in here, so I'm gonna try to rouse. I'm hunger 5, do what you want with that. And then I'm gonna chuck the horseshoe at the deer.
Dex and athletics, please.
Oh man. Here we go.
Yeah, and there's no point in re-rolling because you'd still miss. L'entrée attempts to throw the iron horseshoe at the visage of the white deer, missing by quite some margin. As he does so, the beast inside of him begins to scream at him for being so useless, missing a perfectly large target at such a close range. Nothing but the best satisfies the vampire. Anything less than exceptional performance instills a profound sense of failure, and they often repeat tasks obsessively to get them just right. Until L'entrée scores a critical win on a skill roll or the scene ends, he labours under a 2-dice penalty to all of his dice pools. Reduce the penalty to 1 die for a repeated action, and remove it entirely on a second repeat. You are suffering from the Tremere perfectionism.
Nice.
This Sandman here is going to charge Eveline and attempt to hit her with his sickle. What would you like to do, Eveline? Dodge or attack?
Dodge.
Okay.
Is that athletics and dexterity?
Yes.
Damn it. Not using my hand to dodge.
Okay. Eveline attempts to dodge out of the way of the incoming swipes and swoops from the sickle. Unfortunately, as it whistles through the air, she is unable to move out of the way in time, and it makes several impacts upon her body. You take 3 superficial damage.
One more and I'm in torpor.
You already an ag?
She had 2.
I had 2, and then you hit me for 4, which actually gave me another aggravated. I healed 2.
Oh, yeah. Memory.
Oh yeah, because you had it from the.
Look how fucking proud he is.
The artist, Sandman, the artist formerly known as Sandman, is going to come charging out at Thurston with her sickle. How would you like to respond, Thurston?
Has the deer been aggressive at all?
It's only
No,
acted
just-
aggressive. It hasn't done anything.
Okay. No, I was debating on whether I wanted to attack this guy back. I'll dodge.
Dex and athletics.
Shite. I'll reroll 3 of those. I have the willpower. Never mind.
Thurston is in shock as the woman he is obsessed over comes forward and attacking him, taking several swipes at his body, neck, and head with her sickle. Unfortunately, he is too enraptured by her beautiful visage to be able to effectively move out of the way, and you take 2 superficial damage. Which brings us round to Eveline.
I will continue singing near, far, Wherever you... Yeah, I'll save you.
Fuck
Yeah!
me.
Yeah, you will.
I'm not even going to bother rolling. The sound wave enters into the Sandman, and you notice various ruptures running along the skin, and eventually it falls to the ground, and pieces of sand explode into the air, raining down upon you. Guess it's raining Sandmen. Aldrich.
So is the deer... There's another sand thing, right? Is it just not
There were
done anything yet?
2 sand people, 1 deer. 1 Sandman has just been destroyed. The other one was the artist, formerly known as Sandman, and is attacking Thurston.
Oh, so that one's still... Got it. Okay. Yeah, I don't trust this fucking deer. I'm going after it.
I don't think you can. Isn't that one of your flaws?
Ooh, good point.
You go after animals?
Someone's been reading my sheet. Yeah, because I forgot I had a whole thing in my backstory about a white cat that used to freak me out and walk by my window. I can't. I mean, I could spend willpower, I believe.
I think you can spend willpower, yeah.
If you will allow me to do so. I'll definitely think it's worth it.
Okay. It's fine with me.
Someone's in danger. Okay, we'll do that.
Going straight for the deer then?
Yeah, it's gonna take an unnecessary but deep breath and just sort of yell out and just force himself to go after this thing.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and try to... God damn it. Try to throw Haymaker at it.
Strength brawl.
We're gonna rouse for it too.
Holy smokes.
I think that's the most successes I've ever... Not even personally rolled, maybe seen.
You know,
Holy smokes.
for that many successes. Yeah, alright.
That's a triple critical.
Fucking hell.
Good heavens.
Oh my god. What is...
Glad I didn't get on his bad side.
Fuck that deer.
Not even a hole.
Where's Mithras?
No, right? Seriously.
Aldrich steps forward with willpower of steel, grabs the deer by its antlers, and tears its head off. All the while, the beast is screaming in his head to assert itself, to cause harm, and no sooner does he feel the blood from the deer dripping upon his own skin, and the beast is quelled inside.
There.
Thurston.
I can reroll 2 of those too. I'm tempted.
Just to see what you can do.
He's dead already!
I feel like I'm just covered in white deer viscera at this point.
Sand.
And sand, yeah. It's a mess. Yeah, the artist formerly known as Sandman is attacking. Does it still look like the woman?
Mm-hmm. And you are engaged in close combat with it.
Right. Yeah, before I didn't even know you knew I existed, and now you want to kill me. This isn't very fair, and I'm not gonna directly attack, but I will defend.
You want to stick with all-out defense?
Yeah.
Okay. Lantre.
Yeah, Lantre just kind of like standing there with his mouth open, just kind of like He just watched Evelyn blast one of them to pieces. And then this guy hulks out over here, and he's just kind of like staring there. Like,
If you don't explode something, you're not part of the club.
I mean, basically.
See me after the session if you want, Lantre.
But I do have a question. Oh boy. I do have a question. So, we got blood from the deer, yeah?
Yep.
And I'm guessing he probably tore it to pieces pretty good. I'm hunger 5.
Oh, yes.
Does that do anything?
Frenzy check for me, please. Difficulty 3. Good reminder.
So I just put 3 in the modifier?
It'll come up and ask you what difficulty it wants.
Yeah, after the modifier. That didn't look like it rolled right.
It doesn't look right.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't look right.
Try it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
That's
looks
better.
right.
Watching this piece of deer thrown around, with the blood splashing all over your body, the beast inside of you rears up, screaming to be fed. Oh dear.
I said that
Yeah.
already.
Okay. Dole!
No, I think it had antlers, right?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, fuck.
You need to seek out the closest source of blood. Human blood. Which is going to be the artist formerly known as Sandman. And
Isn't
you
she
will
made
not
of sand?
No, she's just been infected by the sand. Besides, he would know what the inner's workings are like. The beast inside of you is compelling you to feed upon this woman, to drain her dry, and satiate your insatiable hunger. Feeding roll for me, please. Oh, no, sorry. Strength brawl for me, please.
Oh, and do I have a -2 dice penalty?
Yes.
This is great. I won't be doing anything.
Would you like success at cost?
No.
Okay. You're going to succeed anyway.
No, I don't want to succeed. I got 1 die. No.
Lantre leaps forward upon the distracted sand person, bares all 4 of his fangs and sinks them deep into the flesh. He spits out a mouthful of sand, but realizes that deeper inside there is blood. He continues to drain, to suck, and remove every single bit of blood from within her, and she drops to the floor, dead. Slake 5 hunger. Take 2 humanity stains. Thurston, take 2 humanity stains for losing a touchstone.
Oh, great.
I think it's 3 or 4 if
Okay.
you kill the touchstone yourself.
No. I'm more confused about the. Okay. I know the rules. I'm confused about the situation.
That was genuinely the artist woman. You have lost a touchstone, you've lost a conviction,
Interesting.
and you gain 2 humanity stains for losing it. And as the sand is carried off into the wind, Lantre, who is slowly becoming back to his normal self after succumbing to the beast, can just hear the words, "Nephron Ka is coming," being whispered. To everyone else, you would have heard some indecipherable language.
So I guess is it alright if I jump in here?
Mm-hmm.
So Launcher will be like kneeling on the ground with her body and his arms over his, over his lap, and he's just going to kind of look up at the coat tree, and he's just going to whisper Neth from car.
Aldrich is probably just focusing on making sure Twice Blind is okay. He's actually there.
He is. And he's shaky and he's looking up at you. And what happened? What the fuck was... What is going on?
Oh, you tell me. Alright, what happened to you? How did you get... You let someone kidnap you?
Didn't let anyone do anything to me. I was taken off the streets.
You're getting rusty, right? But it all worked out. Let's get you back somewhere. Maybe have a drink and figure out what the fuck was going on. Did
Drink
they say
sounds
anything
good.
to you? Did they say anything to you at all?
Didn't say nothing.
But what did you say?
I just said a drink does sound good.
Jesus
Right, let's...
Christ, Aldrich, you're stepping up in the world. Who the fuck is this?
Let's get the fuck out of here first. Right, I don't like where we are.
And he's gonna hold out his arm for Eveline.
I'll take it.
Let's go get that drink. This night's getting better.
I'm still holding the woman's Thurston. Gonna do anything about this, or am I good to like get up and go?
Yeah, who was that?
Apparently someone I once knew. Aldrich,
Did it remind
know
you used to know?
somebody.
Used to know.
Aldrich, what I said earlier about the Setites, if they really are what caused this, or sent this, whatever this was, I would like to make them pay, please.
Thurston, more and more you are speaking my language. They have gone too far this time.
Very much so. I'm
That person someone important to you.
at a time, for whatever reason, I'm not quite sure. I don't even think I knew her name, nor did she know mine.
It was Sandy.
God damn it.
Either way, if she was important to you, and L'Entrée just killed her, L'Entrée, I do believe you are deeply in Thurston's debt.
Yeah, L'Entrée, he's still kneeling on the ground with the woman across, and he's just like looking up at Thurston. He's like, I'm sorry.
This is not the first time that the Setites have done something to make me think that this woman was involved. But the fact that this time it was real. I know I hesitated, thinking that it wasn't. But the fact that it turned out to be true. If you're going out for drinks, enjoy one on me. I think I'm going to head back to the house for the rest of the evening.
If there is anything you need at all, do not hesitate to ask.
Right.
I know how you feel.
Yeah.
Any last minute things anyone wants to do or say before you retire after drinks to your haven? after choking on sand,
I'm
probably.
tired. I'm tired of these motherfucking setites.
I
Motherfucking city.
would like if there's some way I can feed.
Would you like to feed on Twice Blind? With Aldrich's permission, of course.
Feed what? I'm sorry.
You could feed on Twice Blind if you have Aldrich's permission.
Absolutely not. I have seen many times an innocent feeding turn into a death.
She's not at 5. She's only at 4. But she's also very, very injured. So
Well, we'll go to a bar, right? There's plenty for you to eat there. You feed at the bar. I'm gonna have talk with Twice Blind.
that sounds like a good.
Entree, perhaps we'll see you again. Hopefully soon. Hope you've found this night interesting. And maybe we'll reflect on what you have done to our friend Thurston.
So Landry will just stand up. Thank you for your hospitality this night. And Thurston's gone at this point, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll even make a or a rouse check if Shiv wants me to, because I probably would have vanished as soon as everybody looked away.
I think that'll be fine.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're going to have more feeding scenes right at the end.
I'm at 0 hunger, so I don't really care.
Oh, rolled it. Yeah, roll it. Getting that hunger. Eveline, Aldrich, and Twice Blind get into the carriage and head into the city, dropping off L'Entrée on the way and entering into a bar. Eveline immediately goes off on her own, seeking for prey. Eveline, charisma, subterfuge, please.
Am I just searching the crowd? Is that what I'm using this for?
No, this is your seductive method of feeding, I'm assuming.
Okay. If that's the case, I would also be singing.
Charisma performance. Yeah, that's definitely a success. As Eveline wanders off into a dark corner with a random man and a huge smile upon his face, you may slake 2 hunger.
Only 2? Okay.
You can take 3 if you want, but that'll be a humanity stain.
No, I don't want to kill him.
That's not killing him, that's just taking a dangerous amount of vitae.
Nah, we'll leave it.
Okay. While Eveline is plying her trade, Twice Blind and Aldrich find another quiet corner and begin to talk. Aldrich. Do I call you Aldrich these days? What do you go by these days now?
Oh yeah, Aldrich. Always has been, always will be, one way or another. At least to you. I need to know what happened. You were just kidnapped on the street.
Well, pretty much. You know, I was doing the usual. Bit of this, bit of that. And then some fucker just pulled a fucking sack over my head from behind me, pulled me off the street, threw me in some carriage, and the next thing I know, this giant bloody whatever that was, a white fucking deer. Then you come out of a shack, and I'm like, I don't know. Whatever I'm selling, it's good shit.
How is business these days? Everything going alright?
It's alright. It's not too bad. A lot of people seem to like to go inside these days. There used to be a lot of customers that would go off to, I don't know, some place in the East End, talk about how good their modern shit is. I don't know.
Right, have you not been keeping up with my endeavors? I've learned everything I know from you, and I've applied it to great success.
Well, I've had words on the street. And then, what was it? There was some sauna or something in the East End? No, in the West End? I thought you were moving up in the world. Went to check it out myself. And it's not bloody yours.
It will be soon again. Is he talking about the place that I just lost, I assume? Yep. Okay. Right, so, I mean, if you're interested, I'm not sure what you're up to, but we'd love to have you on board, like old times. Not quite like old times. This time's seems like I'm calling most of the shots. But we've ran into some trouble, and I could certainly have someone of your expertise help get us back to where we should be. The old ways of
Me
doing
work for
things,
you?
meeting. Work with each other.
Maybe if it's a team effort. Would I be inside?
Whatever you want. Yeah, I trust your expertise. Like I said, your way of doing things, I still think works. I just have new products. Old school mentality with new trinkets. I think it could be quite pairing. Also, let me keep an eye on you, since apparently you're getting into trouble.
I ain't gonna argue with you. I mean, getting on a bit. Being inside be nice change, especially with winter coming. A new product,
Say
you
no
say?
more.
New challenges. How popular is it?
It sells itself, and then some. Barely keep up with demand. But, like I said, it would be nice to have someone I trust on the inside to make sure during these times of aggressive expansion we can keep going in the direction I want to go. And I
Sounds
know
like
you're
a
not
pretty
one to be
cushy
pushed
job.
around. Consider it a retirement package for you. My gift to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that. Alright then. Alright. We'll work out the fine details. Dot the J's. Cross the A, B, C. Whatever it is that needs
Alright.
crossing.
Keep enjoying your drink, yes.
It sounds good. Alright, alright. Where do you want me to go then?
What places do I still have?
You have the nice theatre and your opium den.
I'll send them to my opium then.
I've heard of that place. The woman that runs that. Fucking scary.
Right.
It's kind of appealing.
She's that too. Be careful around her.
Oh, right. One of them women, is she? Alright.
You could say so.
Do you want me to name drop you there, or is she going to expect me?
I'll send word ahead.
Right. Alright then.
Get your things in order, do what you need to do. By the time you arrive, they'll be expecting you.
Oh, I like the sound of this. This could be a really nice little retirement plan. Here's to you, Aldrich.
Here's to you. Wouldn't it be here if not for you?
You're damn right.
We'll make a toast. Oh, and also, and consider, he was getting ready to just instinctively wipe his memory of certain things that he shouldn't have seen. But he'll make an exception for him.
It's a nice
I'll let it
touch.
go.
A nice touch. Yeah. And he'll just sit there and he'll be drinking away. Any last minute things you want to talk to with Eveline about? Or shall we call it in here?
I would like to heal.
Do a rouse check for me, please. Gain a hunger, but heal away.
Oh, same.
Okay. and heal away. And on that note, we'll bring a close to this week's London by Gaslight. A lot more death than I expected, and I didn't wear my death tie. I feel bad. What have we got coming up? No, doing this in a complete wrong order now, aren't I? Eveline, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Ms. Hearts. You can find me just about anywhere as Ms. Hearts. This is November. I'm doing NaNoWriMo. I'm writing a book. I am at over 24,000 words so far of the goal of 50,000 for November.
Are they all different words?
Most of them. You can also find me in our upcoming second half of Wraith. After that, if you are in the Austin area, not this weekend, but next weekend, Saturday at Carousel Lounge, I will be performing. I'll be belly dancing. And then the weekend after that, I will be belly dancing at Mystic Market in Buda. And you can find all my other upcoming things at the link that I'm sure Nitro's already put in chat. That Shiver's already put in chat.
The bot put it in chat.
I mean, the bot put in chat. And if you need graphic design or promotional products, go to gibopromo.com.
Wonderful. Aldrich, who are you? What do you do What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I do things over at Table Golf. Go to that YouTube to find the things that I do. Which will include, hopefully next week, I'll upload our first of our Cult Chronicles. So we're starting to do little mini campaigns. Hopefully eventually exploring most of the cults and cults of the Blood Gods. And then also, hopefully in the next week or two, our player's guide will be out, the Storyteller Vault. So keep an eye out on our socials for that.
Very nice. Thurston, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I'm not up to much, but you can find me practically everywhere at Natural Type Rat. I am still working with Shiv and Miss Hearts on our play-by-post thing on our Discord server. Link in the down below. And we are getting very, very close to that 400 mark. So if you're not following our Twitch already, please do, and then keep an eye out on our Discord.
That way you can be disappointed on Twitch and on Discord. Lantre, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I guest here every now and then. I also play Absolute Jackass, that you might know as Aldo. I'll be playing here tomorrow night, in Oxford by night. And yeah, you can just find me here. And thanks for having me.
Coming. So yes, tomorrow. An hour earlier than normal, I think. In the rest of your Western time zones is Oxford by night. Yeah, I think it's an hour earlier because, yeah. Anyway, with Kendu playing literally the same character. Astrid, Junie, Cassandra. It's going to be fun. And then next week, on the 17th, at 10 a.m. JST, which is 0100 UTC, which I think is an hour later than we started this, we've got part 2 of Wraith. With Bully, Miss Hearts, Astrid.
Ash. Dead Western.
Hopefully Ash and Dead Western guesting in. The very dramatic, hopefully, conclusion. And then London by Gaslight again next week. I feel like there's more, but is there more? Someone tell me if there's more or not.
No, we just had so much going on the week before last that we got used to chilling more.
True. That's very true. We'll go raiding on Modlet Games, who are playing Vampire the Masquerade. But we can't go until Thurston says the line.
Aldo!
Oh, now it's giving me the count. How awkward is that? It said ready to raid, and then it's giving me the countdown.
Oh, well, then I'll give you a different take. Aldo?
Yes.